Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for bringing it to the house every single day, baby! Woo! Sorry. Woo! Shout out to each and every one of you for coming on into the live stream, baby. You've never seen the energy like this every single day, baby! Whoa. Wow. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on into the Crypto Lifer live stream, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. You're with the Crypto Lifer, and you're about to go on a journey, an adventure, and a ride of energy that you've never felt in your life, baby. Because I'm full of God's love and full of God's energy, and I live in love every single day. Can I get an amen from every one of you? Yes, baby, yes. And look, we called that this was going to break to the upside. We have a bit of a double top here, though, and we are at a resistance point, 20,750, 20,800. Remember the eights? Do you remember the eights? I talk about the eights, 18,008, 19,008, 21,008, and 20,800. It's all about the eights, baby. Are we going to continue to the upside? Well, I see some short squeeze orange juice coming at you real quick. I talked about us likely going up into 20,050, didn't I? If you were in my trading group, I went over this morning inside of a live update. I talk about Bookmap, talk about the idea that we're headed to higher liquidity, talked about that there was nobody here trying to buy Bitcoin on the lows. Just wasn't there. So for all you fib traders, for all you people that don't understand liquidity, I get it, you got a 618 golden pocket and all that fun stuff, but man, like me, I don't draw a fib here. I'll tell you why. Because everyone else and their mother does. But look, if you drew the fib the right way instead of the opposite way, right? That was a golden pocket bounce off the 706. And so had you drawn a mini fib this way, see, other people were doing this. They were drawing the fib from the other way, from here to here, right? And they were saying, well, we're coming up to the 618 rejection, like in this area, or that maybe they were doing this. Yeah, they were doing this. And they were here and saying, oh, we came back down to the 618. Hold up. You know, and it was like, hold up. No, sorry. I'm messing up. Yeah, seeing if it would retrace and get rejected by the 618. He said, watch the 618, we're going to dump. See, I got students that don't want to learn. But look. So look, you draw the fib this way in an uptrend, all right? And you call out that we went, basically, if we go all the way to here, that is a 706 Fibonacci 618 from this impulse to that impulse, and bam, and we bounce. And look at that short squeeze. And I called the pump to the upside again. Shout out to anybody that may or may not have got into this pump. I built the flag for you, suggested we would move. The 15-minute has legs, baby. So why would you trade against it? 20,830 to the upside. Shout out to anyone that may or not got into this in my trading group. And last night, before I went to bed, I called Bitcoin, and I'm going to prove it to you. Check it out. You're in my trading group. You're paying $100 a month, which is $250 a day if you get into the, or it's $3 a day. It's like $3.33 a day. 333, right? Well, look, I don't want you to see all the awesome calls we've already made today. But last night, before I go to bed, let me find out here. Oh, yeah, here. So last night, before I go to bed, I'm hanging out. I'm looking at the chart, and I see something in the chart, and I say 7-minute flag. That thing wants to move to 21K. You know what I mean? And still bigger time frames are overbought, but I still like this flag. I woke up in the morning, flag broke to the upside. You got exactly, I nailed it again like a psychic. Don't play with me. You will see it's insane in here. The accuracy will scare you. The accuracy will scare you. You will see things you've never seen on any other channel, and you'll see it every single day. And the reason why we do it is because we do it every single day. While other people take a day off, they miss the market. We don't do that. And I always tell everyone, you want to know where the bottom is. You want to catch the bottom, right? So just chart Bitcoin every 6 hours and be consistent. And you're going to be the one, I go live every day. So one day I'm going to buy the bottom. I think I may have already done it, but I'm going to keep watching it. And I'll tell you another thing. I use the Crypto Fear and Greed Index pretty religiously. Whenever I didn't listen to it, it hurt bad. And we were down in extreme fear yesterday and last week and last month in the 20s. You got to buy into this shaded area. In my humble opinion, whenever we're in the shaded area, I begin to buy Bitcoin, So whenever we're down, this is a very simple strategy. I wait for the 2-week chart to get overbought and beat to the ground down here. And if you look at Bitcoin in its life cycle here, it gets low on the 2-week chart. That's a buy. That was your bottom. That was another bottom buy. That was another low cycle buy. And here's your next cycle buy. I mean, I bought right here. I bought right here. I bought right here. And so I'm just continuing what I do. I've been buying Bitcoin at these levels. All at these levels. You see what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So you do whatever makes you happy. I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But I mean, when the MACD is about to cross of the 2-week chart and you're lower than you've ever been on the RSI and you have weekly bullish divergence, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. You know what I mean? You got other people looking at the cycle and the days, and they're going to tell you exactly the day of the drop and all this stuff. If the guy in front of you isn't saying, I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go, I would suggest you meander away. Because that person is so stuck in an ego, they have to force themselves into what's going to happen. I can't tell you what's going to happen, but I can tell you what has happened in the past. And if you didn't listen to it, what would have happened to you? So like, had you not bought Bitcoin when the 2-week chart was this low, you would have missed out on the best prices in the world and history for Bitcoin. So I can't tell you what to do, but I do show you what I do. And I'm, you know, another thing, all these people calling bottoms and all this, are they going to buy the Bitcoin bottom live? Are they going to take their 100K out, their 50K out? Are we going to see their live buys? Or are they just doing this? My whole life, I like people that showed and proved, right? Like, I want to see it. Show it to me. Let me see it. You know, and that's what the issue was with all the different YouTubers that I used to watch. I used to watch so many of them, and they had good analysis, but they just never showed me what they did. I never found out what they were doing, and I couldn't learn from them because they weren't transparent enough to learn from. You know what I mean? I wanted to learn from them, but they didn't give it to me. And so I try to show you, like, hey, I did put 20 grand in here, right here. I did do this. And like 4 or 5 years from now, Bitcoin goes to 300,000. You turn 20,000 into 300 grand in 4 years. That's 280,000. That's 70 grand a year for 4 years. I mean, that's what most, school teachers make a year. Like, some people have that's their wage salary. And you can make that on the side, trading Bitcoin. And not even trading leverage. And I'm not a big leverage guy. I just don't do it. Look at 20,900. Shorts are getting absolutely squeezed. Again, what is this right here? This is Bookmap. If you don't have Bookmap and you're not using Bookmap, I think you're living under a rock. I swear, I mean, this thing is unbelievable. I was living under a rock for a while because I didn't have Bookmap. They came to me, they said, we really like your style. They literally said this to me. They said, we've never seen a more accurate trader on Bitcoin. Your calls are insane. They're like, we think you have big potential and big growth, and we want to get into the ground level with the lifer. And I said, I think you guys are smart, and I think you guys are doing the right thing. And so we created a beautiful partnership with Bookmap. And we're able to see, and again, we're back to the same thing. I use the 7-minute and the 15-minute chart, okay? I use the 7 and the 15-minute in the liquidity order book, and this is how I'm doing this, and I keep doing it. Yet I see everyone in my channel or in my trading group doing opposite things. A lot of people listen to me, but I see people doing opposite things and getting wrecked. And I'm just like, why? Like, number one, someone probably traded leverage, and they got stopped out on this wick hard because they were way in too deep. If you traded spot, you would have used this as a support zone because you would have known that was the previous resistance, and you never put a stop loss in that zone. You put a stop loss below the point of control at 20,222. That's the proper thing to do. What this also negated, which I absolutely love, right, was a head and shoulder pattern. See that? And it said, yeah, we're going to dip. They made people think the head and shoulder was going to dump. The shorts jumped in, then they reversed it to the upside, and they nailed them. But if you were like me, and you're an RSI trader, stochastics RSI trader, I long whenever the stochastics are low on the 7 and the 15. Because my whole life, I've been back testing it, not my whole life, but for 15 years now, and it's played out way more than it hasn't. So if I go on my live, and I see the 15-minute and the 7 are low, and I say, hey, I'm going to call along here for Bitcoin, right? And boom, it booms to the upside, right? It's pretty obvious to me because the probability is so high that's going to happen that it's going to make me look good. You see? I know the probabilities so well that I use them to make my channel look good. See, I use the math to accentuate the style. You get it? And if you don't know the math, you can't do that. It took years to figure out. But look, so you press play and you watch this go out into fruition. And I mean, you're low on the stochastics on the 4, on the 5, the 15-minute. Why did it do that? Hold on. I wanted to see it like kind of play out. We'll use the 7. The 7 will give us more of like a, but look, you're low on the 7. That's a boom. And look, previous resistance becomes new support. SR flipping. And that's an SR flip, a support and resistance flip. Also, I talked about the dollar index, and I showed you that it was at resistance. You don't short Bitcoin when the dollar's at resistance. Just not a smart idea, right? I wouldn't do that, right? Look at this, 357,000 liquidations, 80,000, about $500,000 in short liquidations. And they even got the longs right here. They got everybody, baby. If you're leverage trading 50x, 100x, 25x, you're so likely getting bashed in the face. You know what I mean? So look, I mean, resistance, the dollar index at resistance. Let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour's booming up and can't get above the zone. It's about to roll over. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And look, this is now a downward falling downtrend. And now you have resistance on the downtrend. This is likely to roll over again. I see a move for Bitcoin coming today to the upside. I see the dollar dumping to this area. And I'm calling a call. I'm calling a move for Bitcoin. The dollar continuing to dump here. Now, what would stop that? Again, we'll go to the smaller time frames. Do we double bottom on the 15? Do we possibly double bottom on the 7? Do we try to stop the carnage here on the dollar index? So it's all about this resistance. In my mind, this is a bear flag. See it? And let's move this over here. Oh, sorry. Measured move does take us to about 109.09 for BTC, for the DXY. So really good sign that the dollar could dump on us, can continue to go to the downside. 4 hour wants to make a reversal, right? But after such an onslaught of dumpage, it's a really, really good sign. So we're going to watch these smaller time frames. And if the smaller time frames begin to give it up, like we get above here, we get back in the zone, then we're going to look at divergence in the 1 hour and the 7, and we're going to start to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Right now, we want to see that the dollar can't get above these local support zones. If it can't, then that's going to mean a green go-ahead for Bitcoin. So we want to see this try to come back up on the 7 like it's been doing. Like the 7-minute was low, hit resistance, hit resistance. We want to see it hit resistance one more time. That will almost make a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder for a dump to the downside. So we're looking for an inverted headed shoulder on the 7-minute, a head and shoulder on the 7-minute time frame for DXY. Okay? This is what we're looking for. That's on my radar, and it's inside of a bear flag to the downside. We're keeping this on track. All right, we made gains too last night. Shout out to anyone that got into the gains. Let's talk about the gains. SWINGBY. We've been trading SWINGBY on and off. Shout out to my team. They might have got even 70%. Shout out to Sean. And look at SWINGBY would continue to the upside. An amazing gain of 50% now. I called SWINGBY last night in my channel, said the 4 hour was about to dip. How did I do it? How do I find gains every single day? Well, I don't take days off. I work like 14 hours a day. Yesterday, I was up at 5 a.m. and I ended my day at like 11. The day before that, I worked a 16-hour day. I sleep 6 to 7 hours. I give my family 4 to 5, and I give you guys every single thing else that I have. And so look, if you look at the 4 hour, this is not where I looked at it. I'm going to press play and watch this. So it did this. And see that turn? And that we were at the bottom, and I saw the 21-day moving average, and I said, man, this thing could cook. I looked at the way the MACD was riding, kind of lack of both momentums, getting tight. It's also an ascending triangle, and things were bullish, right? Bitcoin was looking bullish. We saw bullish moves in the market. So to me, there was a likelihood that SWINGBY was going to break to the upside and go on a pretty big move. It was also above a point of control there, as you can see if I zoom out. It's above this point of control right there. It's also above this point of control. If I zoom in, it's above this point of control. If I zoom out, it's above this point of control. 2 point of controls that it was holding. And again, once you break through the point of control, you likely head to the end of the liquidity zone. So to me, it was pretty obvious we would get a move on SWINGBY. Tight moving averages, everything looking good for me. Let's press play. I posted this last night. Let's talk about it. Did anybody get into the trade? Did anybody see the same thing I saw for SWINGBY? Let me know in the comments. I want to know. I want to know. Take me to your river. I want to know. So look, here's SWINGBY yesterday at 8:58 p.m. And that's why you can't just watch my live stream. You got to be in the Discord. You got to pay the $3 a day so you can make that paper, baby. So look, 4 hour has a bullish cross on the SRSI. Ascending triangle, 50-50 probability. But man, that thing was gonna blast. Highly likely to make a move. And let's play that out and see what happened to SWINGBY. And I mean, SWINGBY would go on a massive tear. It's weird. Why isn't the 4 hour doing what it's supposed to do? This is a little annoying to me. This is supposed, oh, it's at 10x? Yeah, we want that at a 3x. Sorry. That's why I was going so fast. Still, I guess I want it on less than the 3x. I think I want it on a 1x. I want to watch it play out a little better than that. All right, so I guess don't do the 4 hour, so try the 1 hour. I just love watching the play out. It's fun for me. And I love this tool. This is a great tool. It used to work a little quicker, though. Like, it used to work fluid. This is strange. Do I have it on like a... Where it usually goes nice and fluid. Anyway, SWINGBY for massive gain. Shout out to anyone that got in 49% and actually holding a beautiful gain after people took their profits at 31%, sitting pretty for SWINGBY. Shout out to anyone that got into SWINGBY. Sean, update SWINGBY if you can, my man. Update SWINGBY. I'm going to send it to you right away. Thank you to my team. Shout out to each and every one of you. I got the greatest team in the world. Appreciate you all for your dedication, your time, your motivative support, and just always being there for the lifer. I greatly appreciate it. So look, this is Bookmap. Bookmap shows me where the liquidity is lying and where we're likely to go. Huge sell orders here at 21,000 showing me that there's liquidity up there. Bitcoin did come back and get rejected and is attempting to bounce off 20,800, an area of support or resistance. Do we see anyone trying to buy Bitcoin down here? I do not. It's all FOMO season. No buys down here. You got a few. I mean, they're ordered in, but you don't see a heat map. Why is it red or orange? Because the darker red it is, the bigger the order is, the more people. What is this? This is showing me aggregated data, right? Or amalgamated data, however you want to look at it, on Binance, Bybit, OKX, and Binance Futures, showing me where we're likely to get stacked. The market maker in Bitcoin likes to travel toward the most liquidity. So when you see the most orders, that's where you're likely to go. If you have a bunch of people, shorting and they all have stop loss up here, you're likely to go and chew through those stop losses. So you have a bunch of sell orders up here for people that probably longed at the bottom and now they want to take some profits. It wants to come and close those orders. It wants to hit those orders off and clear them out. So it's showing you that there's more orders up here than there is down here. So Bitcoin's more likely to go and get the candy bars at 20,009 and 21,000 than it is likely to go to 20,700. We showed you this yesterday on the live stream, and then we watched it play out live, right? So just keep coming back. This will start making more and more sense. And then we also have a liquidation indicator that they added just 6 months ago this summer. It shows me how many people are actually getting liquidated on Binance Futures and where their liquidations are. How much they got liquidated, how many accounts. $148,000 got liquidated at 62 accounts. Pretty amazing, right? So bang. So shout out to anyone that jumped into SWINGBY. Look at that massive daily candle. And we call that move on the 4-hour time frame to the upside. I can teach you how to identify a move like this before it happens based on probabilities, oscillators, and my special sauce. If you like what I'm teaching you, if you like what I'm putting down right now, right, and you want to see my face again, say, hey, I want to see your face again. I'm back, baby. I'm back. The thing I want you to understand is that I teach class every Tuesday. And this Saturday, the last Saturday of every month, I can teach you this stuff. And you think 2.5 hours with me? I have a way. I was lost, depressed, had so many reasons why I couldn't understand this stuff and push myself forward into trading. And so I know how it is, and I know where you're at, and I know exactly how you feel, and I can get you to another level. I can motivate you. I can make you feel positive. I can give you an inspirational story. I can be the inspiration for you. I used to work a night shift. I didn't always have it. I didn't always get to wear nice clothes every day. I used to wear the same Costco's jeans every single day. I used to wear just a white t-shirt and a hoodie. I was Joe Schmo Blow, going to work every single day, working a night shift, I always dreamed big things were happening to me and big things were going to come. And I always had, a lot of my friends were always super, two of my friends started a company. I was always around entrepreneurs. That's one thing I was always around. All my friends were hustlers. I was kind of, even though I work for someone, I always consider myself a hustler because I started my own company. I had them paying my S-Corp. I did a lot of the proper things that I should do to help myself. And, but at the same time, I had a boss and I didn't like it. So if you don't want a boss and you want to get where I am today, where I don't have to work for anyone else for the rest of my life and I get to do whatever I want. I want to fly to Vegas last week. I can. I want to go to Florida. I'm going to Florida in a few weeks. I'm going to Florida twice, November and December. So catch me. You know what I mean? And it's trading. Trading allows you to travel the world. Trading gives you the opportunity to produce gains wherever you are. Look, last night, 49% gains. And honestly, even if you fell asleep, you didn't take profit, you're still up 30%. This is not a pump and dump. That's a beautiful move to the upside on a solid coin that people really believed in and wanted to get into. SWINGBY. SWINGBY could be huge. At 0.3 cents, you never know. So there's my ideas. And I can teach you this stuff in the trading course every single Saturday, every single Tuesday, and the last Saturday of every month. The reason why I'm promoting it hard right now is because we don't always do the last Saturday, and we do it for people that can't make those weekly days. So last Saturday of every month, jump in. I'm teaching this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12. The one I should take that's when I want to take a moment off, right? That's when I'm like, and I still teach class on Saturday mornings. I don't stop. 7 days a week, I push myself to the limit for my company, for my business, for each and every one of you, and for the crypto space, okay? So jump on into that if you would like it. I'm there for you every single week. And that class is not easy to teach. I teach it live. I give my all. It's not easy. I'm telling you right now, live teaching is not easy. takes a lot out of you, and I want to make sure everyone gets every little piece that I teach. We had a great class yesterday. It was unbelievable. Shout out to everyone that jumped into the class. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're amazing. So thank you for that. So look, I mean, 38% gains on ABBC coin, which I also put out not too long ago. And you can look at the gains tab if you just want to see the gains we've been making and track us and see what we did. Like ABBC, tight channel, that's a golden pocket, pumped out 36.39%. Bitcoin accurate call last night, pumped out of the channel, beautiful call last night, right? Accurate call last night for Bitcoin as well at 6 o'clock last night, and then in the morning, booming. So we've been accurate since the 17th, really. I mean, ABBC nailing it. And then look, AI popped out for a little bit, 16% gains. And Onston, who could have thought of Onston, just monstered up yesterday, right? On the 25th in the morning, we put it out the day, like 4 or 5 days before that. It would go sideways, and then just do a monster. No stop loss will get hit in the making of that trade. SWINGBY hit for gains likes. I found the bottom of that, which is Luxo. That thing continues to pump. Today, it continued to pump up 113% in 20 days. This thing is just a beast, a behemoth. And so just continuously to take money out of the market every single day. All right? Every single day. And not every trade plays out. Let's see, is there any trades that didn't play out? I like to find the trades that lost. I like to go over everything. The losses and the wins. I just don't know. We haven't really seen a lot of losers recently. Oh, yeah, ACQ, I believe, dumped out of the pocket, right? We put this out yesterday, and it didn't play out. No, because if every trade plays out, you're a liar. Like, hands down. Like, you can't be like, every single trade I do plays out. Like, that doesn't work. You know, I'm not with that. So we had it in this. So I actually redrew it, but it was in. What was it in? I'm trying to think. Like, what was it in? Something like this, maybe. No, I'm trying to think what we had it in. Possibly this. Did it break out and break back in then? Let me see. ACQ, let's take a look at ACQ. And again, you could backtest everything. You could join my group for 1 month and then backtest everything I find and find out whether you want to be in it or not. Like, it's all there for you, right? So we hit 47% gains out of that, right, on the first pump. Then I grew a little channel there. So that's the channel I drew. So let me see. So I drew this channel. So it did break out. Then it came back down. Then it stopped out. And then it went sideways. It's interesting. Now it's like somewhat bullish too. Right? It's got this cooking. And it's got the moving averages super tight again. Maybe it wasn't ACQ that done, but I remember someone being like, I just got in and it went out of the pattern. And I was like, well, like, trades are not guaranteed. I mean, that's tight. And see how it's following the 200-day moving average? It's about to break above this high volume node, and then boom. Now, if it gets rejected, it's coming down here easily. So then you look at the 4-hour time frame, and the 4-hour wants to blast. You look at the 1 hour, and the 1 hour is like in indecision. So it's not in the perfect place, but there could still be a move coming here. Interesting. I actually think this thing could continue. Funny, I went over it, and now I see 35% gains coming. Possible SR flip with the previous resistance and the new support there. I don't like how close you have to be to the. You have to be a little too close to get a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio, which makes the trade a little high risk for me. I can't find proper support and resistance, right? That's going to give me a 3-to-1 ratio. This is important. Let me teach you this. So I'm always going for a 3-to-1 here. Why? If I trade this 10 times on a 3-to-1 and I lose it 7 times, I'm going to lose 77%, right? Let's raise it to 12, 84%. But let's say, I win 3 times. 3 times, that's 105. 105 minus 84 is 21, right? So you only have to win this trade 3 out of 10 times to be profitable. People don't realize that. Mind blown. Mind blown. They're like, no. I'm like, yes. They're like, I thought you had to win every trade, Lifer. I thought you won 100% of your trades. I thought you were 9 out of 9, 8 out of 10. No, that's not true, and I never claimed that. You know what I mean? As long as you hit 4 out of 10 trades, 5 out of 10 trades, and honestly, I'm very selective of my trades. I tend not to overtrade. You know what I mean? I like to make 5 and 8 to 8 trades a month. I don't like to overtrade. I really don't. It all depends. Sometimes I'll scalp, sometimes I'll long. It all depends on how I feel at that present moment in time. So look, this thing could moon. This thing could moon. It's a little too high risk for me. Likely to get stopped out because You have to risk too much below this point of control, and that becomes a 1.82. So in my mind, it's just a too high risk trade. So it'd be up to you to take it, but it is high risk. I'm not a financial advisor. Another guy saying do should be taken as such. I do like the oscillators, and I like the tight moving averages. And I like that we bounce, and we look, resistance, bounce. We tend to be holding a very strong support zone here for ACQ. You see? So it's making me feel like we may hold that zone. So I guess stop would have to be like right below somewhere. Oh, right there. Okay, that's almost legit. But just be careful. There's a high probability this does get stopped out. Look at your daily time frame. You can't get much. Look at your 12-hour, your 12. Yeah, they're a little too, they're high, right? 8-hour wants to dump, 6-hour. So all the bigger time frames say that you're likely going to go down. Okay, so if you trade the smaller time frames, you just have to heed that it could be a fast move. So it's funny. This is interesting. It's on my radar. ACQ. It popped the last time we looked at it, but it's high risk. I will say it's high risk compared to a lot of other coins. And remember, you get charts posted to you while you're maybe not even in the live stream. We make sure to post those trades to the trading group just so you can see what's going down. Let's get the lemon into the water. Let's get it moving, and let's take a big sip. If you take a big gulp of water and you get that bubble, it'll hurt. So I was about to get that bubble, and I said, Sam, don't get the bubble. You know what I mean? Hold on one. Okay, so we're going to start doing something different on the live stream. Okay, don't do this at home, everybody. Please don't do this at home. Be very careful, but we are going to do a few things, all right? We get to a certain type of likes, we're going to be doing some knife flipping. That's right, I like to knife flip. Yes, I have a knife here, and I'll be flipping it in my hands, catching it beautifully. I hope not to cut my wrist open. So we will get to 500 likes. I'll be knife flipping, all right? So if you want to see some knife flipping, get it ready, baby. Get it ready, all right? So I just ran up the stairs. I'm winded. So look, ACQ on the radar. I like what I'm seeing. You can see how we kind of build a fun, happy little place for ACQ. All right, let's get back into BTC and see what's happening with the dollar index. So we got this. We want to see the dollar index not get above the resistance at 110.38. That happens. We're looking for a Bitcoin going to 21K, and we're starting to kind of dig our way out of this hole here. And you can see, I mean, the dollar index is now in this falling wedge that it created, and it's at the top of the wedge, likely to drop back down here to 109.62. So I'm looking for a move back to the downside here for Bitcoin. All right. Catching falling knives, now we flip them. Please don't hurt yourself. Hey, don't worry about it. Coming from the guy who says all the time, it's at the bottom of the jar. I don't like to catch a falling knife. You're funny, man. It scares to hit that button for the first time in my life, man. Don't worry, man. Just hit the like button. Let's get to 500 likes, and let's get to the knife flipping. Let's get it done. I know you want to see it. People love controversy. You want to see me flip that knife. So if you want to see me flip that knife, get it going. Get it going. Get it going. I used to do this all the time on my other live stream. I've been doing this for years. I'm a professional knife flipper over here, all right? What I want to do is, I thought last night, is I want to hire, like, a Hollywood person, you know, to give me, like, a fake arm and all that. And I want to, like, flip and then have it stick in and be like, oh. And, like, I want it to, like, bleed through the shirt. I had this awesome vision. Going to put, like, plastic on the ground. And then I was just going to pull it out and be like, no. I just pull the arm off. Like, nah, guys, let's get back into the charts, you know? I still may do that. So I want to start doing crazy things. That might go viral. Be like, you know, like, Chart has stabbed himself in the arm. Like, I'm just thinking of funny ways to be different. I'm not like everybody else. And I'm like, well, how am I going to be different? And so last night I was like, man, you love knife flipping. You should be knife flipping on these people. So here, I mean, we're in a tight channel here for Fly. Fly did break out about 13%. Nothing to write home about. It's been sideways for a while. Make another pennant. Doesn't get my fancy. Let's take a look at BTC, USD, and get back into the world markets. We're going to take a look at the dollar index, which we did. We're going to, we keep you up to date with that. But we're going to look at total, the market cap of all of cryptocurrency, and see the biggest levels that we've hit and where we stand. Lemon water tastes so good. And we should probably even do a freestyle. But look at this, man. Bitcoin pumping to the upside, doing damage as I said it would. Shabela, you beautiful piece of art. I love you, Bitcoin. Can you believe it's about to go to $21,000? I mean, I am in the money right now. I am in the money, like big time. I love it. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on into the live and being here with me every single day. You know, it's been 2 weeks now since I bought that Bitcoin. It felt like yesterday. I cannot believe how fast time flies. Like you do something and then it's over so fast. And next thing you know, you look in the past, you're like, huh. That's why I tell everyone, learn from your mistakes. Before you know it, they'll be over. And you'll be kind of right where you were before, right? Casper went up about 4%. Not too bad. Not too bad. ENS, I threw $500 in, down $30. Nothing crazy. What is this? Yo. Yo. You read it? Did you read it?
No, but I don't.
Yo, give me the knife, yo.
No.
Give me the knife.
No, Sam.
Yo, give me the knife.
I'm serious. No,
Yo,
what
give
if
me-
you do, like, just let's just.
I've done it on YouTube a bunch of
I don't
times.
want you to throw a knife around.
It's okay. It's okay. Jesus. Man, she's ruining. Yeah. Yo, I'm such a nut. I love it. I love it. You won't see this anywhere else. You won't see it like this. You just won't. I'm telling you right now. This is reality TV at its finest. At its finest in Junction Point, you know. But shout out to everybody. I'll post my Bitcoin buy up $1,600. I mean, that ain't bad. Yeah, I used $20K to do it. I get it. But I still put my money where my mouth is, baby. And you know what? You know, a bunch of leverage traders use $20K and they got not a piece of it. Not a dollar, right? So look, we're up $1,628. Had you listened to the man, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't listen to me. So don't do it. Had you listened to my education, got the education and put it to work, you would have seen the beautifulness. So look, I mean, now you're getting a bit of hidden bullish. This is swing down. This is swinging up. I mean, you got a almost hidden, bullish. I mean, bearish divergence. You still got bearish divergence. Sorry, hidden bearish, but you still got some bearish divergence there. I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. Bearish divvy. So look, we're going to freestyle now. I'm going to show you what I think is going to happen. I'm going to show you what the chat conveys. Look at this trade right here. Look, it hits the target, 7% gains. Unbelievable. Out of the flag, to the upside. No stop loss got hit in the making of this trade. Absolutely beautiful. So look, let's delete everything. Let's look at my 3-day chart. And I was looking at Bitcoin on the 3-day. And it said it wanted to boom. And look at that 3-day. And I talked about the 3-day over and over again. A lot of people did it. I went over the 3-day chart so many times on this stream. And I kept showing you the bullish divergence here, right? Now, it's not amazing. I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, because we have some levels of support and resistance. But what we did do, remember I drew this 3-day falling wedge yesterday. And I said, man, we're going to have to break out of this to go to the upside. This wedge has to break out. And they could even kind of do this with it, right? It's kind of a symmetrical triangle. That's a clean breakout. Like, that's a huge candle. Clean breakout. If we give it all back, I will be highly surprised. So that's a big move. Your next big resistance is coming for 25,000, right? Or, you know, and then we got to rip through 22.9, 23K. So 23, 25. Those are your big areas on the 3A that we really are coming for. There's really nothing else to get in our way. A little stop here at about 21,800, and then ripping to 23,000. So the 3A chart has gas. The bullish divergence played out right here. Here was the bullish divvy because this is swinging sharply to the upside. And this is swinging sharply to the downside. You know, if you want to clone something, hit control and just pull it right off. So easy. You don't even have to clone alone anymore. So check it out. I mean, that was a beautiful breakout. So now let's take a look. So we have a support zone right here that we may revisit, and that's going to be 20,022. We kind of revisited that earlier today in a way inside of this candle. And our next bigger resistance point that I believe we head to is 21,647, 650. So you can see that in a little notch there, right where we're at, 21K. I mean, obviously at the psychological numbers, right? 21,000, 20,000. You're going to hit some resistance points. So, okay, 21,000 is resistance. We may come down and bounce here off of this support zone. So that's what we're looking at, unless we can get above this and maybe bounce off this zone. So just wanted to show you the 3-day chart and break it down. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart and see what we see. So we clearly broke out of the symmetrical triangle that I had drawn, all right? and that I was talking about every single day and getting tighter and tighter in the zone. And, you know, I said the big move was coming for Bitcoin by Monday night, Tuesday, and called this on the blockchain. I bought the Bitcoin. We nailed it. Yada, yada, yada. I did all this publicly in front of like tons of people too. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Who cares about me and what I do? I mean, I'm just a person. I'll die tomorrow and no one will remember me. Doesn't matter. So look, hopefully some people do remember me though. The idea is, look, we're getting rejected by this resistance, clear resistance, because you had bounce, bounce, bounce. So you're at resistance. You're likely to come try to, you know, attempt to find support or make a flag. So that's why I flag it out. When in doubt, flag it out, because that says that you don't know what's going to happen. So right now we're going to flag out the price action yet again. And honestly, there's a chance. I've been doing this for the last 2-3, you know, since yesterday in the afternoon. I just keep flagging out the 7 and the 5, and I've been able to hit the next measured move, right? Again, we're always going back to the dollar index and checking on the DXY before we make any solidified ideas. And we know exactly what time frames to look at it and to watch. See, knowing even what time frames to go to is such a crucial part of it all. And look at this dump coming out of the dollar. Like, they are shredding it finally. It's falling out. Look at that. It's dumping. That's going to be another Bitcoin pump. I mean, that's going to, I believe, push Bitcoin back up to 21,000. All right. Look, more short liquidations just occurred again, 110,000. The shorts won't stop. I don't get it. You don't just short. You don't watch a price pop and just short. Some people say, oh, I just short after green moves. That's not, last night I saw people in my group doing that. I'm going to open up a short now. Like, it's so simple, right? You just wait for Bitcoin to pop, and once it gets low, you know, it doesn't work like that. You flag it out. If that flag stays in a flag and your stochastics reset, you're highly likely to continue to the upside. This is the science that I figured out. No one taught me this. I didn't have a mentor I had mentors before, but they showed me different things. Nobody taught me this. I sat in the charts playing and playing and playing and playing, and then my mind one day was like, and I believe all this happened while I was asleep. If you feed, what I did is I rebuilt my subconscious mind. And I'm telling you, some people are going to be like, as much as I teach trading, I teach how to rebuild your subconscious mind. That's what you're not going to get at all these other trading schools and other trading places, because I had to recreate my subconscious mind. My mind was visioned to think that I couldn't become a multimillionaire, that I wasn't meant to be great. And I had this little voice in me that anytime I went to do a big venture or do a board meeting or, you know, a meeting with friends or get something going, it was like, it's not going to happen for you. Then there was times I was like, yes, it is. And I was really close. And then that voice would come in again, and I would go into this deep depressive state, and I would go into low frequency. I would live in fear. I would have fake emotions acting real, and I would begin to crumble and be weak. And I wasn't able to become the person I wanted to become. I said, why? So I found Joe Dispenza on YouTube, and he started teaching me how to meditate. He started teaching me how to collectively resonate, how to kind of sit there in a quiet, dark room. And I started doing it slowly, and I also got therapy, and I used to talk to my therapist every single, Tuesday I had therapy? I don't go to a therapist anymore. My therapist got really old, and he had Parkinson's. He told me that he's diagnosed with Parkinson's and that it was going to get hard for him to show up all the time. And I felt like, I said, all right, I'm going to let you go, man. He did a good 2 years with me during the pandemic. He got me to figure out my issues with my dad and why I kept getting hurt by what I wasn't understanding. And he helped me understand so many, my daddy issues. I figured out all my daddy issues. But it's true. This is a true story. I had daddy issues. Like, I just had expectations of my relationship with my father, and they didn't hit what I thought, like, and whatever. I don't want to get into it, but I did go to therapy, and therapy helped me. And then I got into the subconscious mind, and I realized that I was letting in TikTok and all these random things into my head, and I needed to stop. And so I put this phone down, and now it sits here black. Probably 90% of my day, my phone's like this. I sit in the charts. I sit with everybody here on the channel, and we deep dive the chart. We deep dive, and we find gains, and we have fun. And this is what I love to do with my life. Everyone will be knife flipping at 500 likes. You didn't know that, right? Knife flipping like that. It's simple, guys. It's not hard. It's not hard. All right? It's not hard. All right? Come on now. Don't get so, my wife's trying to take the knife away. Get a life. Come on. Like, grow some go on the side. Ya mamma mia. You know? So, hey, we didn't even get to 500. We had 400. But can I get to 500 for the knife flips? 3 knife flips. I'll do a few more if you keep it moving. What? I already did it. I just did 3 knife flips in a row. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Grow up? Me grow up? Why? Because I'm knife flipping? Why don't you come here and say this live to the lifer's face? You screaming down from the high and mighty castle. Like, why don't you come here? You're like Elsa on Eric Crown's show. I'll drive myself. Hey, I was bleeding out my wrist and I got my, did you drive me to the doctor when I was gushing blood out my main artery? Oh, now you're going to do that. You saw when I was bleeding there. You were there that day, right? And I put my hand here and I ran to the hospital. I saved my life. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Oh, I love the wife. She's the best. People love this. Whenever she's around, we do this. I see the views go up. They go up. They go up. This is reality. This is IRL, man. So anyway, shout out to each and every one of you for being here. Morpheus Labs, does it continue? It's going to have to take a pullback. I mean, nothing goes up forever. Like, that thing was on a tear of tears. So you say, like, well, when do you take profits live, or what do you do? Well, you remove all your last work, and you see, well, we're overbought on the daily, and we're away from the 21-day moving average. And so you just kind of, like, flag it out and say, well, at one point, price action and the 21 are going to kiss. And when they kiss, we're likely to get another move to the upside, right? What you can also do is pull a Fibonacci from here and just be, preemptively ready for the levels that you're looking at, right? And then you can even make a box in that zone. And sometimes I even put limit orders in there, just waiting. I don't know. Honestly, I do it in a more bullish time. Right now, I still don't trust the sentiment. But, like, this is the area that you're looking for. This is the buy zone that may become the spot, right? And so now I have the idea before it even occurred, okay? And this is projection. You should be able, and because I've seen this so many times, and I'm not saying it's going to do this. Maybe it goes sideways like this. It makes a beautiful ascending triangle. We don't know exactly what it's going to do. But at one point, it's going to pick a zone. When it gets here, it's either going to go down or it's going to go back up. And if it goes back up, I'm going to delete this falling wedge. And then at that point, I'm going to know the pattern before most people on YouTube know the pattern. You get it? Going to clearly know what the pattern is before most people. Shout out to the $26.98 in chat revenue. You people are amazing. Woke up this morning. Thank you, dear Lord, for my legs that I may walk to the bathroom. What a beautiful life we have. So I'm looking at Morpheus Labs here, okay? And this thing could do some damage for sure. All right, Morpheus Labs could do damage. All right. I'm waiting for it to reset, though. You see that? I don't just pile on in when the daily's that high. Not a good look. Ooh, I think I see something coming in. I've been DCAing into ETH around 1,300. Levels, are these prices still good to DCA in your opinion? Don't want a FOMO if we get a pullback. PJ Cabrera. PJ, I'll never be able to tell you what to do. I mean, you got to kind of figure that out for yourself. I appreciate it. I'll tell you, but I will. You didn't ask for advice. You just said, hey, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing. What are you doing? You're just giving me what you're doing. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing. We're having an awesome discussion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. And nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. So I looked at ETH. I called the pump for ETH, right? Out of this channel to the upside, right? So I've been bullish on ETH. You see my Ethereum BTC call as well, right? Double bottoming off the channel. Why was I bullish on ETH? Well, let me show you. I mean, this falling wedge, tight moving averages. I also saw a hidden bullish divvy, right? On the weekly, really. That's swinging down. This tells me that these are really, decent prices for Ethereum. Weekly is turning back to the upside too, and you got a bit of a double bottom. Did you get the bullish divergence on the weekly? You didn't. Not like Bitcoin, but it does follow Bitcoin, so it really doesn't matter. You look at the 2-week chart, the time to buy Ethereum was down here at 1,052, already up 30% on the ETH buy. What are you doing?
Because I'll tell you why.
What's going on?
I'll tell you the reason.
What's going on?
It doesn't allow for things like that to be shown or anything that promotes violent behavior or dangerous behavior. So that's why I'd like you to just hand it to me next.
All right, so she's taking it away, everyone.
Put it down.
She's taking it away.
Would you like a spoon? I love you, Sarah.
My baby looked at me like, why are you crying? You left the baby down here. You took my knife, you left the baby. So, I mean, that, to me, the 2-week chart tells you when to get down, right? Whenever it's below the dotted line, Those are the buys on the stochastics RSI. I've been talking about that all the time. Look, this is interesting. Swing up to swing up. This is swinging down. That is hidden bullish divergence. That tells you that that definitely is your bottom. So in my mind, I mean, these are beautiful prices to accumulate. Again, hold on. I got this call, 400% gains for ETH, I believe, coming all the way to 5,500, right? To me, you're just breaching too. Look, you're just poking out. You are starting to break out here. Say like this, see? You had the shoulder fell out, and you kind of have this elongated, drunken shoulder head and a right shoulder there. It's not perfect, but I've seen that. And the weekly does want to push. The 2-week does want to push. The monthly says this is a very good place to be getting in. Also, the monthly has hidden bullish divergence, which to me tells me that that is like, and you've almost, ETH has been too small to almost ever see that, right? So the monthly hidden bullish tells me that these are very, very, very good prices. I also believe Bitcoin has bottomed. I bought the whole Bitcoin. So when I bought a whole Bitcoin, that's where, you know, someone who was doing the same thing as me would buy a whole ETH, right? And remember when I bought the whole Bitcoin, that was 2 weeks ago. So if we look at the 2-week chart and we look at it, you can see clearly this is we done in 11 days. So this is, so 2 weeks ago, ETH was around 1160, right? So when I made that buy for Bitcoin, that was definitely highly likely probably a bottom buy for ETH as well. All right. So, hey, I can't guarantee anything. Anything could happen. We could come all the way up, roll over, black swan event, and we end up with ETH down here, right? What I would do is I would always keep money on the sidelines. So like say I had 20 grand to go into ETH. I'd go in for $1,000 every couple of weeks till I had 4, 5, 6,000. I'd always keep maybe 7 grand in complete cash in case ETH dumps all the way down to like a lower level, right? You got Garrick Soloway saying he's going to wait for $600 ETH. Will he ever get there? We don't know. Only time will tell. Shout out to Gareth. Shout out to all the awesome YouTubers out there that push forward every single day. Shout out to Mitch Ray pushing it out there. Shout out to Tom Crown pushing it out there. Shout out to Traders Reality pushing it out there. Shout out to even Jordan Cameron, even though he eats socks. Shout out to every single one of those YouTubers out there that shows up every day and streams. Streaming is not easy, and when you stream for a living, it's not easy. And so I understand how hard it is. So I believe that I know what I get what they're going through. So yeah, I do like ETH. Thank you for the awesome super chat. Much love to you and yours. Shout out to Frankie Candles out there. Frankie, we love you. And today's a big day for me. Today I am going to be featured on another channel, Miss Teen Crypto. And she's such a beautiful person. I love her. Look at, he's back. Even though he said that he was going to leave forever and go with God, Crypto Jeb is back, man. We love you, Crypto. I knew you were coming back, Crypto Jeb. I know you weren't going to leave. I thought about how hard I worked for my channel, and I was like, he's not going to leave. We work too hard for our channels. You're not going to leave your channel. You're just not. Like, I just knew Jeb would be back. I knew in my heart and soul because I was like, if he put the effort I put in to get where he's at, there's no way he's going to disappear. Look at this, though. They have 200,000 people on their subscriber list. We have 30,000, and we have only 200 less people watching us than they do. I'm just showing you how strong my community is. We are shredding through the world, baby. They have literally 10 times almost subscribers than we do, and we're pulling in the weight. So shout out to each and every one of you. You guys are doing unbelievable. You're making me go neck and neck with some of the biggest channels in the game, and we're only down underneath 40,000 subs. So what you guys do, the lifers, you guys really show and prove, and you do things amazing. Like, this is rare. It's very rare you see a $40,000 channel juxtaposed. And look, YouTube's putting us right next to each other. It just happened to be there. I was just trying to find Miss Teen Crypto. And there she is. Look, I'm going to be on Miss Teen Crypto today at 4 p.m. Check us out together. The charts don't lie. Get ready for this with the Crypto Lifer. Shout out to Miss Teen Crypto. We love you. She's doing her thing. And look, she has all the awesome sauceum out there. I mean, she has the biggest people. She's had Elon Musk. No, I'm just saying. But she's had Ben Armstrong, right? BitBoy. She's had everybody, man. Like, I am amazed. Now I'm like dropping the ball. But she's had Ben. She's had Garrick Soloway. She's had Joey. I think let me see here. She's had everybody. She's had Tom Crown. She's had everybody on the live. I already been on her live already. And she's had CZ for Binance. Like, that's insane. You know what I mean? So she does awesome interviews. Look, she even had Ben right there, Ben Armstrong. There I am right there. The comeback is greater than the setback. I love this. I love you, Miss Teen Crypto, and I'm super supportive of you and everything you do. Look, 1,000 views than the last time we were on. So I'm going to be on today at 4 o'clock, talking with Miss Teen Crypto, having a blast on her channel. Follow her right now. Get it ready. Get it going. All right. So look, I do see a slanted, inverted I mean, a slanted head and shoulder here now. Just be careful. Everyone's like, but you said that. I'm always open-minded. I'm watching the charts at any single moment in time. Once you're up, swing that stop loss to break even and always protect the purse, man. I'm not a financial advisor, but I protect the purse at all costs at every single moment in time. So thank you. Everybody, you're the people that got me where I'm at today. Thank you so much. Love you, bro. Shout out to Palmetto Nick. We love you too. MTC is awesome. She's keeping it real. She really is, though. So much FOMO to come from the people that haven't bought any and are waiting for the low prices. Oh, man. When it goes to 30K, they're going to freak out. They're going to freak out, for sure. Emery, I wonder if she's going to keep the name when she's in her 20s and beyond. You're funny, right? Hey, I'm new here. What is your long-term prediction for BTC? Oh, come on, man. I love you, bro. Just keep coming back to the live stream, man. Show up. Show up every single day. We'll get you going. I really enjoyed Miss Teen Crypto. Felt wholesome, and she listened with humility. No, she's amazing. She's a good person. She's a blessed individual, and she's on her way to greatness, and you could tell. So I want to hang out with people that are on their way to greatness. Super Chats, XRP. Only Super Chat is XRP? We got $36.90 in chat revenue. Thank you to each and every one of you that sent that money in. I've been DCing into ETH, says PJ Cabrera. Just want to make sure I'm getting everybody here on the live. Crypto Knifer. Stop by the wifer. Crypto Knifer sounds catchy, eh? Crypto Knifer. Shout out to Jason Ferriani for the $5. Thank you so much for the love. Crypto 1337. 2, because I did not hit the like button on time, man. You're the man, dude. Thank you so much, bro. You got to do that. I love you. Super Chats are XRP. The only thing I see in right now. XRP. So look, we got the dollar index cooking. We got Bitcoin going, right? And yeah. And then I was just redesigning Bitcoin on my own. See, that's why how I have two different charts. I have the Binance chart and I have the KuCoin chart. I just like being open-minded. You know what I mean? Because it helps me stay fresh. So look, this is a rising wedge now channel. And honestly, I mean, rising wedges break up parabolic, but we have very overbought areas of control. This would take you to 22,289 though. So I do have to make that quite clear. 22,289 and moving. So shout out to every one of you. You guys are giving me views that channels with 500,000 people have. Like, I'm so blessed. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything you've given me. Thank you, everyone that comes to the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The gratitude is just unending. Thank you to my wife who works so hard. Thank you to my team who works so hard. Thank you to Sean. Thank you to Porter Rock. Thank you to John. Thank you to every single person that has ever reached out to me and said, hey, I believe in you. I want to help your movement. Shout out to every single one of you, because without each and every one of you, I'd never be here. And it would be hard to show up every single day without that love. But that love is so strong that I'm like, man, I'm coming for the love. Like, I show up every day for the love. Hands down, for the love. You know what I mean? I love the gains, but it's all about the love. So we're watching Bitcoin in this flag, and it could definitely pump to the upside. I do see an idea here that if we kind of loop back up and we can't get above the zone, we'll crash back down into here. However, we're starting to form a support section here. Support group at 20,400, 20,005 area. So, hey, until we break that, we remain bullish. So the bears have to break through this to continue to the downside, right? This is a strong area of support now. It's kind of SR flip. It did an SR flip. Resistance came back, bounced, boom. It declared an SR flip right there, but it is on a small time frame. 20,888. And don't get too excited. We could still see 10K. We could still see 16K. Anything could happen. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I'm not going to tell you I know where Bitcoin's going to bottom in 3 weeks. I'm not going to say in 6 weeks Bitcoin's bottoming at this exact way. I'm not doing that. I have a 90%, my indicators I believe are very accurate, and I take many of them throughout the world. I took the GAUSSIAN channel. I took the 800-day moving average. I took the Pi cycle. I took the crypto fear and green index. I took the 2-week, the monthly. I took bullish divergence on the weekly. I took hidden bullish divergence on the monthly. And when I bring all that together with my trading style, and those confirmations have made me many, 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 many gains in my years. Like, I traded Aave on hidden bullish divergence that looks a lot like the one I see now for Bitcoin. And boom, massive gains in my life. So I just, the indicators are telling me that the bottom was in. That the bottom was in already. And if I didn't buy that bottom, I was a fool. I've seen the bottom come in before in my life and not bought it a few times, right? Like, I bought a lot at 6. That's not true. I bought a lot at 7 and 8K. We went all the way to like something 19 or something. Then we dipped back down to 17 and we got into some heavy fear down here and I didn't buy. and we ripped, right? And I was like, man, I should have bought more Bitcoin in that area. You know, I do buy, but I always say I should have bought more. So that's kind of what it is. Like, I buy, but I should have bought more. So this time when it came down there again, I was like, man, if you don't rip at least 2 to 3 Bitcoins in these areas, you're a clown, man. And so I think I bought almost 4 or 5 Bitcoins down in here. I can't, me and my wife the other day were like, how many did we buy? I'm like, I don't know. I just kept buying. I don't care my dollar cost average for Bitcoin. I do not care. I really don't. I know the numbers that I bought lower than. So like I didn't pay more than this price. I didn't pay more than that price. You know what I mean? And I stack. Like I did not start touching Bitcoin until it was at 29, 26, 28, 22. And I bought and even then I was buying light. 100, $500 because the crypto fear and green index wasn't low enough. When we got to 17.5, we went down to like a 5 or a 6 on this index. That was insane. That was a very low point. I mean, that was nuts, right? There was very likelihood that was going to be the bottom. So whenever this gets into the dotted zone, so I could teach you how I buy Bitcoin at the bottom. I teach you right now. I usually teach this during my beginners course, but yo, make this a class right now, Porter Rock. My name is Samuel James Price, known as Crypto Lifer on YouTube, and I'm going to teach you how I buy at the bottom for Bitcoin. You do whatever makes you happy. You may decide that it is or it isn't. I don't know, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I look at Bitcoin in the all-time history index, okay, which you can see here, a flag that broke to the upside on its way to the target, 21,382. But anyway, let's delete all my old work, all right? The first thing I do is I look at the 2-week chart, all right? On the all-time history index, first of all, you need to see the all-time history index. And I go back in time because I figured out that fiat currencies were garbage because I went back in time and I researched history, right? So every time I research history, I'm able to find something. And I notice most people aren't focused on as many things as they need to be. And because they lose focus, they won't be able to see the things that I found in the charts. So I believe if I stay focused and I stay heavily in my pocket, then I can find the bottom when the whole world doesn't see it. So again, here, the 2-week chart gets below the dotted line. That represents your bottom right there, okay? Hands down. I mean, that's where you start to buy when the 2-week chart stochastics, once they've been down there for about, I'd say 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 to 12 weeks. Once you got 12 weeks down in here, you start to accumulate. And so right there at $200, right, back in February 2015, beautiful, beautiful idea, right? And if we zoom back even further to the first time the Stokes were low, we go back in time here, you can see we had our huge run up, bull run, came back down. That was definitely your bottom buy when the 2-week chart was low, okay? So I'm just showing you that ever since the beginning of Bitcoin right now, this is 1, this is 2. So there's 2. There's 1 in 2011. I've never shown this on the live stream, by the way. Not this in depth. Never done this in depth. Here we go again. 2-week chart was low, right? So I buy, okay? Keep moving forward here. Here we go. The 2-week chart was low. That was your last time to buy before a massive move. Like you basically had one last shot to get in at 550 and we were gone, okay? We would run all the way up. Amazing run up to the upside, right? Have this boom all the way to 20K. We would come back down. Now, look, you don't buy immediately, but right when we start getting here, I start DCAing in. So, like, right once we get to 6,000, I'm starting to buy 250, 500, right? As this gets longer, the buys get bigger because I know I'm running out of time. Then it gets to 1,000, 4,000. Look, then I buy the whole Bitcoin, you see? And boom, we got down here in the pandemic. The day of the pandemic, I bought a whole I bought almost a dang near whole Bitcoin. I could go to my Coinbase account and find it for you. Stack, didn't you stack? If you're out there, I remember you sent it to me. I think it's in our DMs. Let me see. Yeah, I think you DM'd me my Bitcoin buy. You did. This is my Bitcoin buy that I put out there. Bought 0.45 Bitcoin at $1,800, right? When it was $4,000 on 8/12/2017, right? So I'm buying Bitcoin when it was dirt cheap, like a half a Bitcoin for $1,800. Right now, that's worth, 10 grand, right? So that's how you 5x your money in 4 years. I found my first Bitcoin buy on Coinbase. Wow, those were the days. This is the first Bitcoin buy on Coinbase. $4,000 on, and I started buying it even earlier on Bittrex and other places, but this is my first Bitcoin buy on Coinbase. 0.45 Bitcoin for $1,800. I mean, you can't beat that. You can't beat that, right? So anyway, and that's somewhere down in August of 2017, somewhere back in here. I did buy here too as well on the pandemic lows, right? Then we dumped here. My only underwater buy here is I bought about a half a Bitcoin here at 32,400. but I'm only down 30%. Like I'm not down that bad. You know, I'm only down $5,000 on the 14,000. Like to me, it's not a huge deal compared to how bad I'm up on all the Bitcoin buys in my life. Like that is nothing. Like I am up on so many Bitcoin buys, right? So then when we got down here again, so I have a simple system. I just accumulate Bitcoin when the 2-week chart is below the dotted line. Like it's simple to me. Like, and you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the last, you have 6 times to do it in Bitcoin's life. So like, isn't that obvious to you that that's where you should be getting into Bitcoin because you only had that many chances? Fortune also favors the brave, and barely anybody bought a whole Bitcoin right here. Everyone's waiting for lower prices and claiming we're going lower, but they're not brave enough to jump in. So I believe Fortune favors the brave, and if most people weren't brave enough to buy, then the price probably won't go lower. You get it? Now we're going to pump, and it's going to favor the brave people who jumped on in. Again, anything is possible, right? But this is the first indicator that I use to buy the bottom. This is the first one, all right? First one. Let me give you the second indicator I use to buy the bottom. Pay attention because this is how you're going to get extremely, extremely wealthy. I'm not a financial advisor, but what I'm giving you is free, and nobody does this. The only other guy that does this kind of is Crypto Crew University Steve, but he charges like thousands of dollars for his stuff. You know what I mean? Whatever. Maybe we will one day too. Who knows? But right now it's like, but I am going to call him out. I love the guy. He's awesome. Years ago, I used to watch his show every single day, or he one update a week. He does like a Wednesday update. I used to watch his Wednesday update. And of all the people in the group, you know, I never made him a mentor and I never paid for his services, but I like the dude. And I like how he thinks. And I like how he says, women lie, men lie, the charts don't lie. And like, he just talks in the frequencies in which I speak, you know. I don't know him. I can't talk about everything he does. Like, but I will tell you that I got some good insight. Now, I don't use his indicators. He uses some of the same things I use. I was taught by a completely different mentor. Some of our stuff looks somewhat similar. But so look, you go back in time, all right, to Bitcoin, all right, and you look when the 800-day crossed through the 50-day moving average, that was your bottom. This white line is the 800-day, and you got to go to the daily to see this. If you go to any other time frame, you won't see this. So when the 800 crosses through the 50-day moving average, that tends to be our bottom, right? Boom. And then by the time we cross through the 200, we've bottomed out, all right? So that happened right there in 2015. We continue to move forward, and we can see here again, when we cross through the 50-day moving average with the 800-day, simple, on the daily, we again have our bottom, right? By the time we go through the 200, we're low and we're bear market style, but we come out of it on the other side, right? That's the second time, okay? And then you'd be like, well, where are we now? I would love to see. And you'd be freaked out to see that we crossed the 50 where we bottomed again. I mean, this is too coincidental to me. 3 times in a row, every single time looking very similar, having the same type of feels. Then we kind of mill out by the time we hit the 200 and we've bottomed out. So I just, I got to heed that. I got to listen to that. So there's number 2. Okay. Number 2. I then use the crypto fear and greed index. And when it gets down into the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, those 5 numbers, those 6 numbers, I am forced because there's too many times where I didn't buy enough at these zones and I got beat. And so I'm trying to tell you, I've been in the market long enough to know when you get beat or not. And so when we get down in here, I buy more. Okay. And it was down there when we were at 17.8, when we were at 18,000, we were at 19,000. You know, last week we were at 23. We were just touching, and I said, man, this may be my last chance. This could start to move and Bitcoin will move and it's going to get down. Once you get up into this, once you really pass 33, it's really time for me to stop buying Bitcoin. Like I always DCA, like I'll start buying 500 in a little bit. I'll always be adding, but the big time buys are not, the chances aren't there anymore. The chances are just not there to grab it up. So we're getting towards the end of the run, in my humble opinion. Like when this gets too high, I get depressed. I get sad. I'm like, dang, I missed out. It happened to me too many times. And I said, I'm not going to let it happen to me this time. So I have my own timeline that I'm on and my own indicators that I use, right? We're not done yet. So then we go to the 8-day, okay? And we type in the indicator here, and you type in GAUSSI. This is from Steve. So I add just one of what he adds to my stuff. And honestly, when I add it to mine, watch this. So I know my areas where the bottom should be in. And so now I look at what Steve figured out. And this is a completely different analyst with a completely different mind doing completely different things. But yet we have the same exact areas of confluence. And to me, that's weird, right? So look, the red turns to green We do have a little low, but that is like the last chance you can buy, and we're gone. Like, that's a great price. That's a $4 Bitcoin. Never looking back, right? It's $20,000 now. I mean, unbelievable when you really think about it. You keep moving forward, right? And we get here, and we look at here on the 8-day with a green turn, the red turn to green, and we have a bottom here again. Same area that my 800-day passing the 50 calls the bottom, okay? Continue to move. Here we have the 800-day again. We have the Gaussian channel on the 8-day. And again, when the green turns to red, we have our bottom yet again. This is like the third time in a row, okay? And so you'd be like, well, I can't get in until I see this. And so you look, and you're like, oh my gosh, we've turned to red, and we have our bottom again. And it's like spot on. Like, this indicator is spot on. Like, it's like to the moment. Another reason why I believe that, and again, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I am just someone that has gone through more data than most people. Everyone else is doing this. I don't know if they've put in the work. Like, I really don't think they have. Like, and I don't mean to call everybody out, but I work so hard and tirelessly, and everyone wants the clout and the attention, but they don't put in the work. So I'm just kind of so I guess I get a little funny about it, but I just believe, you know what, it'll come out in the long run. So there's another indicator, and I'm not done yet. So you can see, like, I don't just, and again, then I also use the monthly chart for Bitcoin. In the monthly, whenever the monthly got super low, that was, and you only had 3 in Bitcoin's life cycle. 1, 2, 3, and you're here again. You know what I mean? I also study bullish divergence and hidden bullish divergences, and I use divergences really, like, very religiously. Like, it's like a huge part of my trading style. It's everything to me. Like, and I've put tons of money in on these and made a lot. Like, they've held me down, and I see swing up to swing up, and I see swing down to swing down, and this is called hidden bullish divergence. And if you don't know your divergences really well, and you don't study them enough, and you really don't understand, then you will miss this. And most of the world aren't going to see the bottoms because most of the world isn't going to put in 10 hours a day, 14 hours a day, and play with these indicators to the point of no return. I love it. I was built for this. I'm passionate about this. I love the numbers game. I love the statistics. But look, swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. That was hidden bullish at a bottom, and we would blast to the upside. Again, could we go to 10K? With everything I've shown you, I'm still such an open-minded person that I believe anything could happen. And we must be open-minded to believe that anything could happen. And because of that, we leave it at such, right? I keep, $50,000 to $60,000 in cash in case Bitcoin does go to $10,000, right? I just don't go all in because I don't believe that's a good idea, right? Thank you for the alerts. Now the alert I don't hear an alert at all. Did I mute the alerts? Chair label doing damage. Oh, I have the alerts down now because they're part of this. So that's another reason this divergence here. Then I look at the weekly chart, right? And I study bullish divergence very, very, very closely, and you never see weekly bullish divergence. And so we saw swing down to swing down, but when we looked at the RSI, we saw swing up to swing up, okay? And you just never see weekly bullish divergence. The last time we saw it, I was attempting to find it, was back here, I believe, in 2015. Like anything that was even somewhat close to it, you could almost kind of say it was here because you're like, well, this like swings like flat, but this swings up. You kind of say it's there. And you can kind of say here is class C because that's not as sharp as that swing down. And they did call bottoms there. But that's like the closest divergence I can find. Like, then I have this. This is a hidden bullish, a swing up to swing up, and a swing down to swing down. And we would boom. So like whenever you do see any divergence on the weekly, it plays out pretty strong. And so that's another indication to me that I have to listen. Like if I don't listen to the charts, I'm telling you, like I've changed my brain now and I don't listen to myself anymore. I listen to the charts. Shout out to the 77 people. 777. I love it. Look, 777's all they left, but we had 77 on the second. 544 likes on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. So this is another reason. And I'm not done yet. Then I go to, I delete all this, right? I go to a logarithmic chart for BTC, okay? And what I'm going to do now is, and again, I used an indicator that called the top, pi cycle top. I said where the top was going to be before it happened. I didn't listen, and the top was 100% right, and I didn't listen. So I was like, man, can't do that again. So now I use the same indicator, pi cycle bottom, all right? And when I look at this, it called the bottom here. And the bottom comes when these lines cross. So let me show you what's happening. Pi cycle are two indicators that are algorithmic kind of like pie charts, right? And I don't know exactly how they're made up, so I'm not going to claim that. But when the red line crosses and the blue line crosses below, we bottom on the pi cycle. And usually once we cross, like that's kind of the last move. And so pi cycle calls a bottom here, it calls a bottom there, and it just called a bottom there. And it's interesting is the bottom is right where my 800-day crosses the 50. It's right where the Gaussian channel turns red. And it's right really where a low area of prices on the stochastics RSI. So this is why I bought the Bitcoin where I bought it at. I hope everyone can understand my reasoning. I hope it makes complete sense. And you would have to know technical analysis very well, like 10 years of doing it to the point of no return to be able to grasp what I'm putting down. The average YouTuber, the average person doesn't understand what I'm telling you right now. They don't. You think they do because they might know a little bit about divergence, but they don't have the full package. They haven't put the money I've put down on hidden bullish divergence in my life and seen it play out over and over and over again. So like I've been convinced by this indicator. I don't play games. You won't see this on any other channel. And I do this every day. So I hope, right? And look, previous resistance becomes new support on the logarithmic chart. I got a lot of reasons why I believe, well, forget what I think. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I want to make that clear. Everyone else does this. It's going to be here. I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Say it with me. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I have no clue where Bitcoin's going to go. I don't think, I don't feel, I don't believe, I don't use those words. The charts have shown me the bottom is so likely in based off statistical analysis and probability. I have nothing else to go on. I'm not using my mind, my thoughts, the news, the dollar. Like the dollar I am using, and the dollar has tanked. And so if you want to, so fine. On top of this, let's go look at the dollar index. So once I learned all this, and look, I said it was going to dump. Where's it going now? Dumping, baby. Dumping. Look at this. This is a 5-minute chart. I conveyed this shoulder, head, and shoulder to the downside. I drew this for you. I showed you the resistance. I believed, right? And so look, I looked at the 2-week chart for the dollar, and it's the highest it's ever been. Okay? Starting to dump. It had bearish divergence. I talked about it over and over again. I said, man, this is not sustainable. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. I had a 70% chance that when I bought that Bitcoin, I was going to be right in front of the world. I use simple probabilities while everyone else is running around with their head cut off. And then I'm looked like a genius because I know what 2 + 2 is 4. Like I just do things really simply. And most people can't see it. They can't see it. Look, there's bearish divergence here on the RSI. Hands down. Right? And it's even marked by my indicator here. I have a div indicator. It's showing you, dump that. You go to the monthly too, because you're like, okay, monthly tells you that you should, and if you look in the past, so go to the history and say, maybe, what if I bought Bitcoin whenever the monthly was high on this? You can't test it up until 2010, but man, these are all Bitcoin rallies. Every time you saw this jump, look, this is 2017, right? This is the Bitcoin rally. Here is the Bitcoin's rally here, May of 2020 in April, right? And we're about to have another Bitcoin rally again. So, and look, we hit resistance. Where the last time we had bearish divergence too. See this? On the RSI. Throw the MACD in there. The MACD is so extended. It's beat to the ground. I mean, this is the monthly chart. You do not buy assets when the monthly is this beat to the ground. It's just not a good look. You're asking to get hurt 6-7 weeks from now. It's highly likely this price action is not sustainable. So did I buy Bitcoin or did I sell the top of the dollar? And that's the end of the session. So I just want you to understand what I did. I just gave you everything that I've done. In a nutshell, like, honestly, I could keep that to myself. I could make a course on that and teach that how to buy Bitcoin at the bottom buying Bitcoin course, right? And again, I can't guarantee that I'm right by any means, shape, or form, but I am up about $1,500 right now on that one buy, which has beat the pants off inflation. Had I left it at 20K, you think my dollar would have went up by $1,000? My $20,000 would have went up by 1,000? I'm already up 7.9%. I mean, that's huge. I just beat inflation back for the year. It was down. It's like 7% on the year, right? So I just earned back all the money they took from me by buying Bitcoin. If I sold Bitcoin right now, I'd be square even on inflation for the year. You get it? You see what I'm saying? So I got into this game because I was sick of them printing my money to zero. I got into this game because I was sick of watching the Federal Reserve print fake money, fiat money that I knew was going to zero, right? Fiat graveyard. Let's talk about the fundamentals. Anyone can teach you the charts. I want to teach you the fundamentals of life, baby. I want to show you the way, right? The US dollar is losing value through inflation every year. That over the last century, it has over 90% of its purchasing power it has lost. 97%. The fiat, beware the fiat grave currency, right? Look at this. Beware the fiat graveyard. The rule of law has basically been thrown out the window. Money printing is the order of the day. And when politicians take control of central banks, which they have done in the United States and they are also doing in Europe, that basically destroys the currency. It puts the currency on the road to what I call the fiat currency graveyard. So I expect there are going to be massive currency problems as we go forward. The financial crisis that we have been dealing with for the last several years has not been solved. See? And I'm with this, and I'm an economist, financial historian. I've been teaching this stuff. I've been going over it over and over and over again. Look, go to the Genie Foundation, Fiat Currency Graveyard, A History of Monetary Folly. The U.S. money supply from 1959 to 2018 has been just skyrocketing. Since 2010, they have put the money supply. Look, here they just kind of added. Look, they have doubled or quadrupled it in 20 years, in 10 years. They have printed more money in the last 10 years than we had the entire time money was existed. Money printing is wealth theft. As the chart below illustrates, the money printing in the U.S. since 1900 has destroyed 98% of the USD's value. But what happens to the value of the USD when the money supply shoots up, like a missile, as occurred since 2008? It loses even more value and will eventually and inevitably collapse, along with the value of every asset that is denominated in USD. This has happened many times in recent and not so recent history. And when it happens, the currency is usually killed and buried, and the fiat currency graveyard. U.S. dollar purchasing power during the 20th century, Spanish War, Federal Reserve, World War, crash of 1929, Great Depression, World War, Korean War, Vietnam, stagflation, Gulf War, boom, and the economic crisis. And now where we're at, unbelievable. If you add this now, we're like somewhere down in here. We're off the page. We fell off your computer screen. We're somewhere like down on the ground. Where my feet are, straight up. The average lifespan of a fiat currency is about 35 years. The following list of currencies is a small sample of all fiat currencies throughout the past 1,000 years that have collapsed. See, I studied fiat currency. I realized I did not want to be in the dollar. I realized that they were going to do this to me. I realized they did this to my mom and dad. They stole all their money by printing money to zero. Think about it. You pay 30% of your money in taxes, right? So that's, if you work 10 years, that's like working 3 years for free. And then they inflate your money and you lose another 30%. It's like working 6 years out of 10 years for free. It really is. Like, you don't get the money. You're not getting ahead. You're not getting ahead. That's why I became a trader. I said, I got to get ahead. Like, I got to beat this system. Like, I got to be able to put in some and get some back. I got to be able to 10x, 20x, and I got to beat back inflation. So I decided that by using my mind and getting educated, I could get myself out of the system. And I did. I don't work a 9 to 5 anymore. I don't run the rat race anymore. I work from home. I don't spend those 2 hours commuting to work. Those 2 hours are to my wife, to myself. I'm sitting there, right, with my wife while everyone else is driving their car, right? I'm just saying, anytime during the day, right? So I just want you to understand that you become your own person, man or woman. Be a boss of your life. There's many beautiful women that are bosses, really are. Some of them better than men, in my humble opinion. And there's many beautiful men that are bosses too. It's not about man or woman. It's about going after what you want. Look at all these currencies are dead. Every one of them. Look. They're all dead, baby. They all have been printed to the point of no return. Will your fiat currency be next? Based on the historical average lifespan of a fiat currency, the data, if your country's total debt to GDP ratio, private and public debt, approaches or exceeds 200%, then there's a high probability that your fiat currency will be buried in the fiat currency graveyard within your lifetime. All right? Only a well-designed cryptocurrency is resistant to fiat inflation, wealth confiscation, and government manipulation, which is why we have launched the Genie Foundation. Genie is for humans who simply want a stable currency to escape fiat prison. So look, there's a new coin, a well-designed cryptocurrency. I don't know anything about this. I just use this, but the Genie Foundation. It's funny. Of course, this was cryptocurrency infused, right? But I just want you to understand this concept. Super important. I hope I really gave you a huge education today. I hope I changed the way you think about the charts. I hope I changed the way you think about the world. I hope you're on your vision and on your move. Your next step, right, after you watch me on Miss Teen Crypto today, is to go to the hidden secrets of money. All right. And what you're going to do is you're going to watch episodes 1 through 8 here, the hidden secrets of money. And he's going to break down how money works, what happens, and what goes on.
The banks that get to make a profit by selling part of our national debt, those bonds, to the Federal Reserve, who buys them with a check from nothing. Then we pay tax to pay the principal and the interest on those bonds so that the Federal Reserve can pay the banks a 6% dividend.
Yep.
Don't be alarmed if you don't quite comprehend the deception of this system at first glance. Very few people do. It is purposely complex.
Took me 10 years to figure it out.
The economist John Maynard Keynes once wrote, "By this means, government may secretly and unobserved confiscate the wealth of the people, and not one man in a million will detect the theft."
Yep.
I believe that presented correctly, anyone can understand this system, regardless of how complex it is.
True.
So let's do a recap and break it down even more.
Watch this.
The way the system works is that, step 1, the government creates glorified IOUs.
If you left right now, you're a complete
bonds
fool.
Increase our national debt and put
If you
the
left
public
this
on
stream
the
right
hook
now,
to
you're a
pay it
complete
back.
fool. This is the
Step
greatest
2,
information you'll ever get.
IOUs are swapped to create currency. The Treasury sells the bonds to the banks. The banks then turn around and sell our national debt at a profit to the Federal Reserve, which they probably own.
Yep.
The Federal Reserve then opens its checkbook that doesn't have a penny in it and buys those IOUs
Fraud.
with IOUs
That's fraud.
that it writes.
That's fraud.
Checks on a checking account that has a zero balance.
Yep.
Then they give those checks to the banks and currency just springs into existence. And then the whole process repeats.
It's a Ponzi.
This results in a buildup of bonds at the Federal Reserve and currency at the Treasury, which is really just a supply of numbers. The Treasury then deposits the numbers in the various branches of the government, and we get to step 3. The government spends the numbers on promises, public works,
And
social
war.
programs, and war. Then the government employees, contractors, and soldiers deposit their pay into the banks, and we get to step 4, where the banks multiply the numbers by magically inventing more IOUs through fractional reserve lending, where they steal a portion of everyone's deposit and lend it out. That currency gets redeposited, and then a portion is stolen again, and the process repeats over and over, magnifying the currency supply exponentially. Then we work for some of those numbers, which brings us to step 5, where our numbers are taxed. We pay tax to the IRS, who then turns our numbers over to the Treasury, so the Treasury can pay the principal plus the interest on bonds that were purchased by the Federal Reserve with a check from nothing. Then we get to step 6, the debt ceiling delusion. The system is designed to require ever-increasing levels of debt and will eventually collapse under its own weight because politicians always kick the can down the road. They don't want it to collapse on their watch. And finally, step 7, the secret owners take their cut. The world's largest banks own the Federal Reserve. Those banks make a profit selling our national debt to the Fed. They make a profit when the Fed pays them interest on the reserves held at the Fed.
This makes me so sad.
And the Fed pays them a 6% dividend on their ownership of the Fed.
So whack.
This system is fundamentally evil.
It is.
It funnels wealth from the working population.
He taught me everything. This guy
and
right
the
here, he
banking
taught me
sector.
everything.
It is the cause of the artificial boom.
I will not stop.
Economies.
I will
and
not
the great
stop.
disparity of wealth between the rich and the working class. And
Until everybody
it is only
understands what's
possible
happening.
because we no longer use real money, we use currency. But worst of all, it is a form of enslavement.
You're enslaved.
Bond
Don't you
is
get
the
it?
root word of bondage.
Bond is a
Whenever
bondage.
the government issues a bond, it is a promise to make us pay tax in the future. Nobody asked you if you wanted to pay tax today for the prosperity we all enjoyed in the last century. Nobody is asking our children if they want to work
You're
hard
taxing
in the
your kids
future
every day.
to pay for the prosperity we're enjoying now. George Washington once wrote to James Madison, "No generation has the right to contract debts greater than can be paid off during the course of its own existence."
Yes.
By stealing prosperity from tomorrow so we can spend it today, we enslave ourselves and future generations.
Yep.
Now, this all sounds pretty bad, but there is great hope.
There's hope, baby.
For you are the greatest threat. to
You
this
are the
false
greatest threat,
market.
baby.
This system
Let's
relies
go,
on
baby,
the
let's
public
go.
being ignorant of its workings. Please
Share this with
knowledge
everybody you
everyone
know.
because an informed public
It's what I do
fully
every day of my
understands the
life.
system can build a
I
better
spend my
future for
days
generations
saving
to
people from these corrupt
And now I leave you
parasitic
with this
systems.
quote, widely attributed to a former director of the Bank of England. The modern banking system manufactures money out of nothing. The process is perhaps the most astounding piece of sleight of hand that was ever invented. Banking was conceived in inequity and born in sin. Bankers own the earth. Take it away from them, but leave them the power to create money and control credit, and with the flick of a pen, they will create enough money to buy it back again. But if you want to continue as the slaves of bankers and pay the cost of your own slavery, let them continue to create money and to control credit.
The director of the Bank of England.
This
Jonathan
is the Federal
Stamp.
Reserve in Washington, D.C. It's located on Constitution Street.
Huh.
And that is just as much of a joke as the New York Fed being located on Liberty Street.
Huh.
Both of them are unconstitutional. Both of them limit our liberty. And they transfer wealth away from us every second of every day
Every day.
to the Federal Reserve,
Yep.
to the government, and to the banking sector.
Yep.
You are now among the 1 in a million who can detect the theft of your prosperity.
You know what's happening
so
now.
the big question is,
What are you going to do about
what
it?
are you gonna do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
Watch this video until you can.
I understand this completely. I've explained it. It's sad. There was 740 people watching. 100 people left during the explanation of that video. Those 100 people just lost the greatest education of a lifetime. Okay? The greatest education of a lifetime. That video got me to buy Bitcoin. That video got me to buy gold and silver. That video made me realize that I was living in a Ponzi. Okay? Let's get back into the chat. Let's get back into everybody out here. But I just, once every couple of months, I break that down for everybody out here. Their leeches, bro, so sad, so sad. Yo, it's the saddest thing ever, man. They are never going to make it. Nope. Salute to you. Buy Crypto Fight. Link to this video, please. Yep. Right here. And I'm going to post it to my comment section immediately. And because I'm about knowledge and helping people and empowering. Super chats, XRP, XVG, Doge. Thoughts on Solo and Tonic. Tectonic is starting to move. Getting a lot of guys kind of jumping on the bandwagon here. Bitcoin holding 20,090, 920. I mean, the dollar index looking like it's going to tank. It already did start to break out from that resistance. Look at that, continuing to drop. We called that drop too, and there's your next level of resistance at 109.58. On the way, we bounced a little bit, 109.71 now. Unreal, right? Okay, Lifer Bear Market Special. If you join the 99 Trading Group for a year, you get a free 2 months plus the Lifer Vision Trading Course. Email cryptolifers@gmail and pay with cryptocurrency. I'm still here, baby. Shout out to Kerry Sanders. Shout out to ABBC for JD. And there's a reason. Everyone look up maritime laws. The truth of what we live under in this society. Exactly. Admiralty law. Yep. I know exactly what you're saying. The berth. What's your birth certificate? Because that's Admiralty law. Because a ship used to come into the berth. Dude, Black Laws Dictionary, man. I spent years on this stuff, bro. I used to watch that clip every day. I had to watch it for months on end. Thank you for the 639 Lifer likes today. You are the best Lifer family. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Great info. Put the link to that somewhere, please. I did. It's right here. I posted it for you, and then I'll pin it. I'll pin it to the message here. You can grab that. And look, I could be pushing MEXC Global right now, right? I could be pushing some link. I want you to understand this is the most important thing ever, okay? I'm not money hungry. I've never been money hungry, okay? I'm just someone that works super hard and gets exactly what he deserves, and that is what it is, right? So shout out to Stack McChain. Shout out to everybody here on the game that supports the kid. Appreciate you, each and every one. Well, the old man now. I used to be a kid. I'm still a kid, babe. Still a kid. All right, let's get into the super chats. Let me rework the brain here and get back into the chatting. Sometimes while watching the stream, I sit back and think about how far you brought me in the trading journey, and it makes me cry. Tears of joy and fulfillment. Thank you, Sam. Yo, thank you, Michael. Don't make me cry, though, all right? I don't want to do it today. We'll buy some of the Brazil's land and create a Bitcoin nation. Hey, baby. Buy a portion of South America and create a Bitcoin nation. About to cross up over the next Euler series, 2999. Go, baby. Euler series, you're funny. The Euler. Crypto is life. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us anytime. Anytime, Sinai. Anytime. The entire system is set up to generate debt. We use money printed by a private institution who prints the money with an immediate debt owed for printing that it can only be paid by the same money. So crazy, right? About to cross up. Yep. Thank you for that. Shout out to my smart lifer. Shout out to Anku Kuti Butsu. Shout out to Crypto Cash. Hell, I'm 60 and still a kid, brother. Man, I love you, Crypto Cash. My man. Shout out to Gregory the Sniper. It's hard for people that enjoy day trading to consider staking options. I agree. Another waste of time Zoom meeting over here. Here we go, peeps. Finally back to the Real Deal show, man. I love you, bro. Thank you. Shout out to Roddy Robinson, the real dad bod in the house. Bible passage, Matthew 24:7, KGV. For as the lighting cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the cometh of the Son of Man be. Great info. Put the link to that somewhere, please. I did. It's pinned here in the comment section. A short-term bear is a long-term bull. I hope crypto goes lower for a better opportunity. Man, everyone thinks they can get better. Everyone thinks they can get better. Practical harmonics meditation. You're such a real G. No, you're a G, bro. Sacred G, baby. Great video. Shout out to Chris Ray, man. I love you, brother. Thank you for jumping on in. Sweaty Dave, give me something to learn every day. Much thanks, Liver. Every time, Debbie. Every time, Davey. Every time, Sweaty Dave. It's only because I listened to you that I didn't sell all my bags when everyone else was telling me to get out of the crypto market. Lifer live on Miss Teen Crypto today, October 26th at 4 p.m. Let's support the Lifer and the next generation of Lifers. Video and information. Boom. Daniel Antonio, you think a foreign, what? What a weirdo. A foreign message. These people are strange. Smash that like, peeps. Archive that YouTube video. Yep. How do you deal with imposter syndrome? Do you think I can buy Bitcoin at 12K? Thank you for your opinion. That can't be the real Laura Marshall. Is that really Laura? You would ask to buy Bitcoin at 12K? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't believe that's the real. Is that really you, Laura? It just seems like you would know that. I don't know. That's weird. Your motivation is infectious. Much love, brother. It is. I know. Crypto email, please announce. At CryptoLifer email, please announce. You can email us at CryptoLifers@gmail. OMG. Did you see hedge funds loading Bitcoin the past 2 days? I've been loading. They probably saw me on live and they were like, oh, that guy knows. I would watch my channel and I would do whatever that man says because I'd be like, whoever does the most charting is going to know the most, in my humble opinion. Whoever dedicates themselves the most to something is the best at it. People who skateboard the most were the best skateboarders. People who surf the most were the best surfers. People who, skydive the most, best, you call it, you name it, all right? I live stream. Everyone else takes a day off, a week off, time off. I don't do that. I just don't. I dedicated myself to a craft to the point of no return, and that's what you're supposed to do to become extremely wealthy and successful. I read about wealthy and successful people. They said I found one thing, and I did it till I was better at anyone else at it, and then I became known for that, and I went with it until I died. And so I said, okay, I got to find what I'm passionate about, what I love, and go for it. So we take a look at the 1 hour time frame for XRP, and it's a little high right now at a resistance point. Someone's asking about XRPZ. So look, first thing you got to do is, we talked about this, is make this channel here. And you can see you're at a resistance, right? Resistance. I don't know. Actually, no. When I get tight, I say we broke out. I really do. So this is interesting. Now let's set our support and resistance lines up. We got some resistance right here. We got right where we're at, where we stopped out. Got a little something going on right there. The point of control right there. We don't need to recover. And here. I'm cool with that. Now, let's kind of zoom in and see what we see happening. A bit of a shoulder, kind of a head and a right shoulder, possible. But we also have this kind of falling wedge that is tempting to break out. And we're bouncing off of a local support right here. Previous resistance becomes new support. XRP. Daily does want to fly. It's an indecision, but the daily could move. You're about to get a golden cross there, the 50 crossing the 200. It's a pretty big sign that you could get a move there. That's called the golden cross for a reason. And you want to look at your 3-day chart. It would have to flip, but it is touching the 21-day moving average. 12-hour and the 22 don't look too great to me. 4-hour doesn't look amazing, and we do have a resistance here that we're having some trouble with right there. We kind of have this like Adam and Eve kind of a double bottom here for sure for XRP. And it is a bit of an ascending triangle too if I just make it kind of like this. So what I see happening, I mean, we're at resistance. XRP is looking like it's going to pull back a little bit. It does like to follow Bitcoin though, so on this crazy Bitcoin run up, I see indecision for XRP. But I mean, that's an inverted head and shoulder that at 68% of the time is going to break to the upside and break this resistance. So, and get back to like one of these two levels. There's a high volume node sitting right there that we may go to too. So I do see XRP possibly breaking out and getting rejected by 49. It has a 50-cent resistance area. That's a big deal. But again, it's going to have to get through this pocket right here. If not, it's likely coming back down to the bottom of the pattern, right? And we'll play it from there. However, it's making a low, high, higher, low, high. You know, I want to see a higher high, higher low, or at least, you know, a higher low here for sure. Would I trade XRP immediately? You know, at the present moment in time, not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of this 4-hour time frame. It does have legs. I mean, to me, if Bitcoin does something insane, then this chart will just break through and it'll short squeeze. Like everyone's shorting the market right now. They're going to get squeezed, right? That's kind of what's going on. They think they know, right? And they're getting banged on, right? Now, look, long squeeze right there for 8K. And now you got a little more liquidity coming in at 20,007. But again, it's pretty scant now. Like they ate through all the liquidity. And if we have to place it and look at it, we just still see more orders here at 21,000, 2,100, 21,200, 21. Like it's just stacked up here. You do have this fat order, so we come down one more for 27.50, get hugely filled, liquidate, and then rip back up. But this is showing signs of a 21,100, 21,200 Bitcoin. All right. So that's so far what we're looking at. No guarantees there at all. All right. Let's take a look at Verge XVG. That's so weird because I thought about Verge today or yesterday because I was in Cryptopia. Anyone have Cryptopia? I had Cryptopia back in 2017 and they got hacked. They got hacked and I lost tons of funds, like $25,000 worth of funds. It was whack. So I've been through it. That was like the biggest hack I had been through, right? Verge. I remember when Verge came out and they were working with, you know, the P-Hub, right? I'm not going to say it, but, you know, I won't say it because I don't want to promote it, but they were working for P-Hub. You could, you know, do Verge with P-Hub. It was like, we have this huge partnership coming. Everyone got excited and it was like, Verge does P-Dub. You know, P-Hub. I was just like, come on, man. So you kind of have this shoulder, this head, and this right shoulder that I was looking at on the bigger time frames, right? And you got this tight channel for Verge. Now, Verge is an old coin. It really isn't that amazing. It's like a payment, privacy kind of coin. I don't know. It's like it was the bee's knees. John McAfee talked about it. It was like the coolest thing in the world. I got into Verge and I made a lot of money on Verge, man. These coins, I didn't get it out because of Cryptopia, but I didn't make a lot of money. I saw a lot of money get made. I wasn't able to get it, but because of the hack, the Cryptopia hack, they lost all my stuff. They were able to get it back and figure it out, and they're still compensating. So if you got an email recently, definitely answer that email and do the liquidation thing that you got to do and kind of get things going for them. So look, Verge could make a move all the way back here to about 639. Interesting in my humble opinion. Not my cup of tea. I wouldn't touch this or trade it at all. There's so many better coins out there. This thing is like the end of the ends. Like, I don't know. Yes, you could bounce on the 3-day chart to the resistance here at 0.651, but I'm not trading this. It does look pretty good, but I'm not trading it. I'll just make it clear. Tone, thank you so much for the super chats. You people are unbelievable. $88 in chat revenue. Unreal. You people are blessed. Thank you for the love. Super chats, Doge. Thoughts on Solo, Tonic, ADA, Bitcoin, and Apt. Let's take a look at Dogecoin. Doge was hot. The Doge 3L was up today. And with the Twitter buy coming out and, you know, Doge getting in there again. So because of all the hype, I had an idea that Doge would pop. And so, look, I have this Doge here, and we nailed it. How much did we hit Doge for? About 16 in total on the wick, 18% gains. And look, my measured move was to about 0.7060, and we went to 0.6918. I mean, pretty dang close. Shout out to anyone that maybe took a gamble on Doge. It was the 3-day chart doing that extra slip to the up, that little loop to the upside. The daily chart looked absolutely beautiful, oversold, holding the zone. So there's Doge, and we nailed it. Shout out to anyone that may or may not get into Doge. As this is a super chat that I went over, I'm not sure, but with Doge coming up, with Elon, you know, isn't it crazy the world we live in? Like Doge and Elon and cryptocurrency and just all these crazy connections that are happening. They're just far out. They're just so far out, right? Trying to see Doge, baby, Doge. Dude, Doge, what about Doge Chain, though? Like, that thing was just... So on 10/16, I put a daily reminder out for Doge right here. So I put this call out on 10/16. Dude, I'm all over it. Gains everywhere. They're like, well, if you chart every coin in the game, then you're going to hit every coin. I mean, I chart a lot of coins, but, you know, I try to only find the ones that I believe are going to make a move. So, look, I found this upward trend. I saw that the daily was low on the stochastics. I saw lack of MACD. I saw tight moving averages. Also, when the 200's that high, you usually gravitate up towards it, right? So, especially when the moving averages get tight and the 200's outside of it, you usually gravitate towards it. I've seen that so many times in my life, okay? So this was a highly likely move for Doge. And look what happened. We can go back in time to when I first put it out, which is right around here. And we can play that out. So you can see the before. I love this stuff. The before, what I like to do is I like to put like a finger or like something on the screen. And then I like to like bring it right where it was. Right? Like this. And like shrink it down and like just like, and then I like to go back and forth. Before, after. Oh, wait, I have to press play first and let the coins bang. Let me just take it off. It's been working slower since they upgraded the way it moves. All right? So, like, I got this, like, shotgun mic, and I'm pointing it right where it broke out, and then right there. So, look, before and after. Before and after. No stop loss got hit in the making of that trade, right? That was a stone cold trade. 16% gains. I mean, it took a while compared to how long it took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 days almost. But hey, a gain is a gain. When you don't lose, you don't lose. It is what it is. So shout out to anyone that made, and that broke resistance too. And Doge could continue, I think, all the way up to about 8 or 9 cents. So, super chats. Thoughts on Sologenic, right? Sologenic on CoinEx, Gate.io. All right. Yeah, I don't think you get it on, it's on Gate.io, CoinEx. Wow, huge move for Sologenic to the upside. I mean, it's a newer coin, came back down. High risk, high reward for this type of coin, right? Daily does want to make a bit of a move. It's in a, yeah, and you got a golden cross approaching. This is what I would do. I would flag out Sologenic like so. And I would project this idea. 4 hours likely, yeah, interesting. Huh. It could just boom up even more. I'm watching it closely. It's very high risk for me. Falling volume with falling prices. We will get a bit of a reversal for Sologenic. Where would be the measured move? About 65 cents on the measured move. Night tight moving averages. Moving with 200. Moving through the bottom of the pattern. Could see something happening here. Low stochastics in the 4-hour time frame. 3-day chart is overbought. Something you would want to heed there a little bit lately. And it's at a resistance point. So just be a little careful here. You might get one more pop on the daily and then fall off. 4-hour looks pretty good, and the daily looks pretty good. 1 hour would have to come on down. I'd set an alert on the 1 hour for Solo. All right. Now you're asking about Tonic, and you're asking about ABBC, Apt, and Tone. Tonic is tectonic, if I remember correctly, right? And it's been hot recently, so I can see why you guys want to talk about it. Now we get into decentralized, right? So you go to dexscreener.com, all right? You go to CoinMarketCap, and this is where I teach you DeFi. DeFi and trading, two different things. And then what you want to do is type in Tonic, right? Tectonic. And you want to copy the Kronos address, right? In the Tectonic Finance. This thing was making like the biggest APY in DeFi ever. Tectonic shift in lending and borrowing. Enter the app. Kronos. And it's, when you see Kronos, that's crypto.com, right? They created their own chain, so the Kronos chain. 18% on your true USDT. 51%. Look, Tether, 46% on your Tether? How? Or you, no, I'm sorry. 1.1% on your supply APY, borrow APY. So if you supply somebody 1.3, if you borrow, you got to pay 2.75 back. So you can borrow on this on Tectonic, and you can loan. Interesting. They got USDC, very small APYs, which I like to see. You don't want it too big, right? Tonic. And Tonic's been going up, doing damage. Let's take a look at the actual chart for Tonic, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to want to copy this address. You're going to want to go to Dex Screener, right? You're going to go to search here, and you're going to paste in the address. It should find it for you for CRO or USDC. We're going to look at the USDC pair, okay? And look at this thing just on an absolute tear. I was looking at it the other day, and if something's up, I'm going to know about it. If any coin moves in this market, I hear about it. I sniff it out. I'm like, Tonic? So look, it's at the lowest it's ever been. You see that? Like, it's beat to the ground for sure, right? But when you look at it here, you can see it's on a massive tear. In the last few days, it's up huge. Let's take a look. Oh, I thought that was bigger. 58%. I thought it was like 580. But still up 58%, not too bad. But again, this is a high-risk tiny coin. I think someone gave me some for free at one point, but I don't really own any. Like, I'm not into it. A lot of people think it's going to be the next biggest thing in the game. Have to get above this resistance first. But I mean, it could gap up. It's a meme coin as far as I'm concerned. Low cap, meme coin that could rug pull and go all the way to zero. So anything could happen with this coin. It's very high risk. I don't know if I'm ready yet. And honestly, to me, it's still in a bear flag that could continue to the downside. Yes, it had that nice pump, but it didn't get above a resistance, right? It has a resistance here. It needs to get back above that to remain bullish. So this could end up going further to the downside. This could just be a rug pull. I don't know. Be very careful. I have no idea I don't know enough about the project. So I don't back it. I don't believe in it. And yeah, I don't know anything about it like that. I know a little bit about it. All right. What do you think about Shinobi? I don't know anything about it. I don't know about it. Sorry. ADA Bitcoin, right? ADA BTC I see here. Apt and Tone, CFG, and Shinobi. Centrifuge. Crypto Cash. Yes, when I asked about Solo, it was for long-term hold, not trading. It's connected in a way to XRP, and the fundamentals are interesting. Maybe you could look more into it. Yeah, I remember Sologenic coming out doing something with like derivatives, right? Like, I don't know. My buddy John hit both Doge and ship for gains. Now he collects and sells Jordans. He doesn't even understand crypto or the Bitcoin futures. Hey, man, everyone makes money in some way, shape, or form. Everyone's destined to make money. Tone is in agriculture and food industry. Yeah, no, T-Food. I know what Tone is, T-Food. I think I was really good game on Nintendo. Started a bop culture coin thing. That's a great opinion. Crypto Cash, I'm sorry, homie. It probably was my wording. Shout out to Dustin Calva in the game. My buddy, get him, Lifer. I appreciate you and your drive. It gives me the motivation to fire my boss and be able to be home with my wife and 2 boys. Keep it going, G. Hey, you want to be home with your wife and kids, man. That's how you keep the family together. I am attempting to protect the family. The family is how society stays whole. When you destroy the family, you destroy everything in life. You really do. So by keeping you home, by keeping you educated, by keeping you financially free, I'm also keeping many, many families together. I'm keeping fathers around their sons instead of out work late at night, right? I'm keeping mothers with their husbands around, holding them tight, right? Making them feel loved. And when the man's home, I'm telling you, it's so much better for the entire home, right? It creates a very sense of security for the woman and for everyone in the house. So becoming a strong man and an example of becoming a strong man for the young men that need people to look up to today, especially with what's going on in the world, is important. And the women too. The women in my training group that believe, what my wife does for everyone here and connects to that feminine spirit that we have here in the channel. So shout out to my lifer women. Shout out to my lifer men. And if you're binary or whatever you are in this new generation, I'm so new to it. I'm like an old man trying to figure out this stuff and the terms. I don't want anyone to ever feel hurt. So I love you all no matter what. And if you want to change the world and you want to do great things, then we'd love to have you in the trading group. That's it. If you want to change the world and do amazing things, then we'd love to have you in the trading group. So Cardano BTC had a huge move since October 21st. Really nice move. Like, had you slid all your Bitcoin into Cardano, you'd be up 18%. I mean, 1.2 Bitcoin almost making a quarter of your Bitcoin back. I mean, that's awesome, right? So Cardano, And if we look at the 1 hour time frame, Cardano BTC is in this beautiful little flag that looks like it's going to make a bit of a move here. So I'm looking at Cardano BTC, and right now, you're right. I mean, that looks absolutely lovely for a beautiful trade. Possibly 12%. I mean, you do that 10 times, you double your Bitcoin. Then you do that 10 times, and you turn 1 Bitcoin into 10 Bitcoins. Then Bitcoin goes to 400,000, and you have $4 million off of a $20,000 buy. And you did it in 4 years. Imagine making $4 million off of 20,000 in 4 years. And you can do it with Bitcoin. People don't realize how much you can do just trading Bitcoin pairs. You can change your life forever. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as such. I'm just teaching you the ways of the world. I'm teaching what a Bitcoin pair is. All right? Bitcoin maxis trade Bitcoin pairs, baby. You know what I mean? Look at this falling volume with falling price suggests a reversal in price action. We take a look at the 15-minute for a better entry. It's not there yet, so we put an alert here. When this comes down, it'll be looking for a beautiful place to get into ADA BTC for possible 12% gains out of ADA BTC. All right. Great super chat. You get a gold star. Thank you. And what was that super chat? What do you think about Shinobi? I don't know about Shinobi. Do you teach a class on trading BTC pairs? Do you think you need a whole class on that? I just think you need to ask me on the live stream with the super chat, and I'll go over it thoroughly. I actually went over it many, many times. Listen, check it out. I tell everybody, everyone wants to pay and thinks they have to pay. I go live every day, and I break down BTC pairs in general. One day last week, someone asked me about BTC pairs, and I spent like the entire time going over them. I really did. So my team will find it for us. Team, can you find the BTC pairs? And stuff like that should be put in the learning library. That's a disconnect that's happening that I've noticed. No problem for anyone else. It's my fault. I'll make beautiful extracts that are learning, like good for learning, and they don't end up in the learning library. That BTC video that I made very recently should end up in the library if we can. Right? So someday last week, I remember specifically doing a BTC pair, like completely just breaking down all BTC pairs, right? ADA Bitcoin looks pretty good to me for a move to the upside for 12%, waiting for an alert on the 15-minute, but ADA Bitcoin looks ready to move, right? Shout out to anyone that jumped into the Discord today or yesterday, any day of the week. May God bless each and every one of you. Discord is moving. Moving, baby. Hitting a nice number right now. Shout out to the 845 people in the Discord. Unbelievable. Unreal. Unreal. And we're on our way, man. And I tell you, if Bitcoin bottoms here and everyone sees that Bitcoin buy, get ready. We're going to have to like get security at the door because people are going to try to flush into the door of my Discord. They're not going to be able to fit in. It's going to be FOMO central. Like as many people that FOMO into Bitcoin are going to FOMO into our trading group. It's going to be out of control. Like you almost hope it goes down to 10K. No, I mean blessings on blessings, but you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, right? I set alerts on the 15-minute. Hey, this is what happens when you work super hard, everybody, every single day of your life, and you dedicate yourself to something all the way, and you don't take a day off. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get whatever you want. You're gonna get it. You're gonna go out. You're gonna be able to achieve whatever you're going after. You're gonna nail it. You're gonna nail it. Trust me. You're going to nail it. If I can't prove to you that persistence wins, I don't know what else I can do. All right. So look at this. I mean, this is rounded out. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. You're getting a rounded bottom here for PHNX, Phoenix Dow here. Rounded bottoms pay the bills, baby. I like rounded bottoms. You know I do. That's really nice. So look, we take a look here. Hey, I wasn't doing it like that. I just, no, this is what I trade on. I mean, a rounded, just blow off tops, rounded bottoms, double pumps. Shortcomings. You guys love it all. What? That's an English word. So 15-minute pointing to the upside. 1 hour wants to make a bit of a move. I like Phoenix Dow in this flag here. Bit of a cup and handle right here. Shoulder, head, and a shoulder to the upside. This thing could start to do damage outside of the bottom side of this cup. 13% gains out of Phoenix Dow. Let's look at our 4 hour. 4 hours heading back down. Look at our daily. Our daily's scooping and looping. I mean, that's a scoop, right? That's a beautiful scoop. You pull a fib on that, you're like all the way back. So that daily wants to rip Rip. Could bend the 3-day back up again. I like what the bigger time frames are showing us. 4-hour does not look good. Says we could go lower too, but maybe it flips back up to the upside based on this 1-hour time frame. 1 hour looks so bullish to me. I would expect a bit of a quick scalp here on the 1-hour time frame. Let's take a look at our 15-minute. 15 minutes got legs. This thing looks good. This is a great project. Might just come up, come back down, go sideways up the side of the parabola. Anything could happen, but I'm definitely watching Phoenix Dow. Definitely something that may be worth DCAing into, even for just like a couple weeks. You know what I mean? So I'm watching this 1-hour flag on PHNX. Shout out to everybody here on the live. All right. We're cooking through here. I think we're almost done with the chat teasies. Can you check Luna C right off the bat? Look at that. I was just thinking about it because I saw the chat, and then you come in with the strong word. So look, I'm in Luna C, and I'm up big. I mean, I talked about getting in there at the bottom. This thing is up, banging on them to the upside. We talked about getting in on MEXC Global. Why MEXC Global? Well, let's break it down. All right. Let's break it down. MEXC Global right now, we having a beautiful, beautiful event. Only 20 days left. And if you deposit $500 in spot trade up to $2,000 or future trade $10,000, $25 airdrop right to you. $1,000 more for new users. So one person will grab 1,000 and 5 people will grab 200 of the 50 participants, which we've definitely done, I believe, by now. So shout out to everybody that's gone in. I appreciate it. But continue to jump on in. I appreciate it. It helps me out. Look, I get commission from everyone that used those links. ETFs right here. 5 ETFs, 4 ETFs, 3 ETFs. This is beautiful. So I traded Luna C here at the bottom, right? And boom, it's up nicely going to the upside. So Luna C, something to watch, something to look at. And you can trade it here on MEXC Global. And Luna C is blasted up. So that's a 3L token. So let's see how big Luna C is up from this entry area. Total of 9%, 6.8. You times that by 3, you're talking about an 8 times 3, 20, yeah, about a 20.4% gain, right? Because 6 times 3 is 18, 18 times 3 is 2.4, 18 plus 2.4 is 20.04. So that's a 20.4% gain out of Luna C. And we did it all on MEXC Global, and I talked about it, and that's why I love MEXC Global. Because they got the ETFs. You can't get liquidated. Trade with no liquidation risks. Enjoy compound interest. I'm just saying. So I don't get liquidated. I just get stopped out. I don't like asking for money that's not mine. I don't do the leverage thing. Up to 5 leverage is really enough for me. I really don't need any more than that and on an ETF. And they got so many ETFs. Like, it's just the best. Bitcoin 5Ls, ETH 5Ls, XRP, pages of pages. Look, they even have a SHIB 5L if you want to get down. And then they got like 30 pages of 3X ETFs, which is amazing. I haven't seen anyone with more ETFs than MEXC Global. So I started trading this way when I began. I was trading ETFs. I was trading gold and silver ETFs. So I'm most comfortable trading ETFs. That's why I do this. I started trading gold and silver on the New York Stock Exchange. I started trading JDust and JDST. They juxtapose each other, right? Like, look, if you type in JDST, Direxion, Dable, Junior, Gold, Miners, Bears, 2-time shares. They used to be 3-time shares. About 5 years ago, they went 2-time shares, right? So what this does is if gold rips, this dumps, okay? If gold dumps, this rips. So if you think gold's about to dump, you buy JDust. It's like the dust of gold, right? JDust, right? If you think gold's about to pump, you buy JNUG, right? And so for years, I played these two coins, or their ETFs, against each other over and over again. So if you believe gold's about to go up, so gold's up. So this is up 7% on the day now. You would have made 7% today. And I would try to get 3 to 5%. And look, there's an inverted head and shoulder. That should break to the upside. See, just like trading, any single market is just like trading the cryptocurrency market. I'm teaching you everything that you need to know, okay? Super Chats, Apt and Tone, and Centrifuge. Let's take a look at Aptos here. Thank you for being here. Let's take a look at Aptos. So I still got it in the flag at support. All right. Let me pull on all my indicators here. We went naked for a second. So, I mean, the 1 hour does want to make a move to the upside. I like what I'm seeing out of this flag. I mean, this thing could boom. We have a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that, to me, could easily make a move. You see the inverted shoulder, head, shoulder there? If you don't see it, if you ever have trouble seeing something, zoom in and go to like another time frame, like the 30, and you'll see it really apparently, right? The smaller the time frame, the more detail you're going to see in the chart. Okay. Swing down to swing down, swing up to swing up, and that gives me a move to just get us started out of the resistance bar, right? And so, I mean, that looks pretty bullish to me. The 1 hour also looks very bullish to me as well. Interesting. Apt. And right there, you have strong support. So we went over this already today on the live stream, I believe. Yeah, we definitely did. But thank you. I appreciate you for asking about it yet again. Apt, right? Looking a little like ACQ too, right? So here. All right, back into the super chats. What we got going on? Wow, keep coming in. Bitcoin one more time before you go, please. Thanks. You the man. Thank you, JD. I will do that. We got to do tone centrifuge. He asked me, what do you think of Shinobi? He didn't ask me to chart Shinobi. He said, what do you think of Shinobi? So whenever someone asks me what I think about something, I'm like, well, isn't that a pass for me not to chart it? I don't know. So look at T-Food. I had it in this channel here. Look at right there, and it blasted out of that to the upside. You know who also had this? Token Metrics. Token Metrics was going over T-Food, weren't they? And I give you Token Metrics in the trading group. I believe they had tone last week. Let's take a double check. Maybe the week before. I know this project, though, and I do like it. I remember seeing tone in the radar. They call it quant. The week quant was hot. Not the best, but they're not the worst. Anyway, so look at this. I'm going to delete all my old work. We're going to look at it fresh again. I'm going to go to the daily. I just like starting fresh, don't you? So look, a kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, right? A giant inverted head and shoulder, no? Heavy resistance in the high range. Here's our mid range at the point of control. And here's our two lower ranges, okay? And right there. So here's our supportive resistance. You can see clearly we're at a resistance at the point of control. I don't need to reiterate that. So here we go. All right. Now, the daily is a little overbought. It's pointing to the upside, but it's a little spent. Okay. The 4 hour wants to move. So we'd have to be flipping that daily. And so it's high risk at the present moment in time. You're sitting on a point of control, but the 21's pretty close. And the moving averages are far apart, but not too far apart. Tight moving averages here on the 1 hour time frame, and now we begin to zoom into this kind of tight channel, right? Which I was excited to get to. And we're sitting at a point of control. Likely this will get a move. I mean, you got low stochastics. Let's take a look at the 15-minute. 15 minutes about to wrestle. So this is something that I would enter like now, like right now. You know what I mean? Because the 15-minute, if the 7-minute was also low, I'd been there like swimwear. Oh my God. You have the 1 minute, the 1 hour low, the 15-minute low, the 7-minute low. I mean, to me, I always go in and I see the 7-minute high. I'm like, man, it would have been a better entry, right? Just be careful. Stop loss below previous low like that, something like this. Tone, I believe this could do some damage today. You know, it's a hot project. The only thing kind of worrying me is the daily, but this looks hot. Thank you for the super chat. God bless you and yours. Putting this on my radar. It looks really nice. Tone on KuCoin. T-Food. All right. And it's in the food industry. It's oversold on the 15, the 7, 15, and 1 hour. And could the 4 hour flip bullish too? Didn't we see the 4 hour was, yeah, 4 hour was good too. And the 4 hour. The only thing worrying me is the daily, so. I call it an outlier. The daily is the outlier. It's the one thing that we have to heed. But this looks pretty nice to me, in my humble opinion. All right. T-Food. Looking tight. Thank you so much for that super chat. God bless you and yours. Let's look at Centrifuge CFG. USDT Centrifuge. And it's a shame we lost people. I guess I might just stop the show at 11:30 because From 11:30 to 12, we kind of get less people. I wonder if the algorithm would be stronger. We get more watch time, though, and we find more stuff. See, to me, it's really not about the views. It's about what I'm doing. It's like planting in the garden. Like, hey. So you asked about centrifuge. I mean, this thing's a mess, right? Let's take a look. Possible double bottom here. Kind of a cup with a handle. You see that? Slanted cup and heady, savvy cup and heady to the upside. Funny, people think all I do is trade cup and handles. Clowns. I'm sorry. I'm just like, it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's absurd. I trade many cup and handle. I believe that. But, like, I don't just look for that. Like, there's so many other things going on. Point and controls, VRVP, tight moving averages, support and resistance, Fibonacci. It's all there. So, look, I mean, that's a double bottom cup and handle. Wants to blast to the upside. However, look at the daily. Not in your favor. 3-day looks great. So you're going to have to wait this daily out, in my humble opinion. Or you're going to hope that it just does something crazy and stays up there. But the daily looks like it's coming back down to roost. You know, does it come here? Does it wick out? Come back in? Some ugly ideas here. And this is at the bottom of its barrel. I don't like catching a falling knife. Well, that's not true. You saw me doing it earlier, but... No, it's more like, no, it's. One of the fundamental sides, centrifuge is a very interesting project. Yeah, it's all right. I did my deep dive. I was like, it's all right. I get it. So look, I mean, falling wedge could break to the upside, right? I'm stubborn though, Greg. You know me. Nothing impresses me. So, looks cool, but that daily would have to reset, in my humble opinion, and that 4-hour too as well. So, I believe there's going to be, or the chart conveys. So, if you ever catch yourself saying, I think, I believe, change it to the chart conveys. The chart conveys, I believe we're going up. The chart conveys Bitcoin will go to the upside. The chart conveys high probability to 20,000. The chart conveys, the chart conveys, the chart conveys, the chart conveys, the chart. Because I started to think of ways to not say I think and I believe, and I was like, well, the chart conveys. What does the chart convey? Right? And that's the key, right? Laura, I don't know if you're going to get 12K Bitcoin, honestly. It's me, Love Learning, just being a normal newbie user. I knew it was you, but when you asked, will I buy it? Do you think I'll... Because you asked me, if we think on nationalized politics alone, we're missing the point. There was a much bigger game. Yeah, exactly. The Bitcoin pump over the last 30 hours has been pretty awesome. Yes, it has. Yes, it has. PMG Robert Sanderson and midnight here in the Philippines. I'm out, lifers. Midnight, dude? Come on, man. You got 5 more minutes. Midnight? That's not that late. Sean McDonough, they're jealous of you, Sam. That's why they hate you. Sean McDonough, we love you, man. Hey, man, I don't even see jealousy or hate anymore. It really doesn't exist. Hell, Iver, can you please do TA on ZCX? Yeah. The haters are never here on game day. On the fundamental side, centrifuge is a very interesting project. I don't even see the haters, man. Honestly, I don't even know who they are. I don't look at them. They don't exist to me anymore. I got over it. I went through too many of them to realize that I had too much time to give to my people. Like, I didn't have time to play these games. I put this in the buy zone. It bounced out of the buy zone. Look, it just cut the corner of my buy zone, and this thing was gone. Another coin that I hit. I mean, this is just crazy. Like, 46% gains. I called this out. Like, shout out to anyone that made the move off of the beautiful, beautiful, tight move there. Bang. I thought it would go a little sideways, but look, it caught this move, hit the buy zone, and was gone. Crazy. Is there more gains coming? I mean, the 4-hour looks like it's going to fall off here. So again, it's to my system is very simple. Buy low Stokes. Once the big pump comes, look for the consolidation and flag out the consolidation. Wait for the Stokes to get low again, re-enter a trade. Like, it's so simple, it's ridiculous. It's just people are just, not following. And I do the same things over and over again. This is how I'm tracking Bitcoin. This is how I'm tracking this coin. This is how I'm tracking every single coin. And what you can do is you can even just take, a blue line here, Alt-V, and I can right-click this and hit add an alert. Create. I can right-click this, hit add an alert. Create. And when price passes that alert, I'm going to know. And if it's where I want it to go, I'm going to get into the sweet spot. I can also put alerts down here, which I do on the stochastics RSI. Now I got 3 alerts cooking for this. I'm going to watch this flag and see if it can continue to the upside. It has a big move, and it just broke out. I see a massive move coming, 184% all the way to 31 cents. So this thing is just breaking out. Is the flag going to get it ready to go? And look, resistance. It's got to get above this resistance to get to the next point at 19.61. That's a really good ask. I appreciate that. We nailed this for gains. This is another coin that I put out recently. Forgot I put it out because I put out so many things. ZCX. I actually really like the way it looked, though. Now I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember looking at this. And I put it out on 10.24. Nice and neat. Falling wedge, low Stokes, oversold in the daily. Moving averages coming together. Price tends to gravitate towards the 200 SMA, right? The 1 day is at the 0.618 fib in the 706 area. Falling volume with falling price shows we are losing sellers, right? And so I put it out here like so. And this thing would blast. If we look at it on the daily where I put it out, and it would just rip. Actually, it would just continue to rip. Almost like never even enter the buy zone, you know? Got really close to it. Here it did. On the 4 hour, it did enter the buy zone. So it got into the corner there. You know, I really should just put this more like this whole area, but I'm not, you know. But still, man, I put this out. I talked about it. I showed you the bullish reasons for why it was likely to break out, and it did. I can't be like the guy who gets it down to the inch, right? Every single thing can't be exact, but I mean, it rode the 200-day simple, and it was gone for 46% gains in 2 days. ZCX for gains, man. Sean, you're all over that. I got you. You probably already did it. Who knows? You're so on point. But thank you, Sean. ZCX, 46%. Throw that to the gains tab for me if you can. I got the best team in the game. No one has a better team because God's got me, man, and God sends me the greatest people on earth. Everybody, big news today. I'll be on Miss Teen Crypto coming up not too long from now at 4 o'clock today. I'll be on Miss Teen Crypto. All right. Want to grab that awesome banner that my team just made. Super nice, too, that they did that. Go into my downloads. Thank you all. You're super awesome. Didn't show up. That's weird. There it goes. I'll be on Miss Teen Crypto today at 4 p.m. Check us out. Me and Miss Teen Crypto will be going over the markets, talking about life, just breaking it down. And, you know, making positivity out of cryptocurrency in the world market. So jump on in. We're going to talk about probably a lot of things I went over today and some other stuff that I've gone over. And you're going to find that she's going to ask me some questions you've never had me answer. And she puts people on the spot. She's awesome. So I would definitely check this out today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check me out on Miss Teen Crypto Show. That's a great little banner, man. You guys are awesome. My team works tirelessly to keep it moving. And like my team always asks for, Bitcoin before we get out of here one last time. All right, so Bitcoin. We had our big move to the upside as we did call it out. The 4-hour time frame is getting overbought. All right, you're looking for what's called tweezer tops on the 4-hour time frame. Right there, you have it. 2 wicks together. That is your resistance area at 21,000. Seems like we may not be able to get above the zone, right? You're very overbought on the 4-hour time frame, and that's a rising wedge. I would be looking for a bit of a pullback at this point. Possibly a bounce off 20,005 would be expected. So right now, the 4 hour is not looking good. All right, it's extended. The 1 hour says no. I'm going to continue to pump. Right. Let's get rid of this head and shoulder that was negated, and we had this flag that would pump to the upside. However, look, sell. We may begin to roll over here. Let's take a look at our 15-minute now, and our 15-minute has gotten above this level and is starting to flag out here. You see this? Make a little bit of a flag. We do show slight bearish divergence here on the 15 because, look, that is like swinging down or flat, and that is a nice uptrend. It is kind of a shoulder, head, and a right shoulder that could continue up to, see this? Shoulder, head, shoulder. I've seen them even slanted that way before, or slanted this way, right? It's weird. I have to do the opposite of what I'm seeing. Anyway, if you did take this measured move here, which I had the bearish divergence, so I just want to say this is bearish divvy, swing up to swing up. But if you take this measured move here to about 21,271, okay, and that's, you know, but you're going to watch this flag, and it's got to curl back. 1 hour looks pretty good, saying like you might actually come all the way back up to 21,281 before we get spent. A lot of people just keep shorting, and if we get enough shorts to the upside, they're gonna get them. So look at the heat map again. We still see more heat at 21,250, right? And where's my measured move here? 21,250, right? Kind of creepy, right? A lot of times my measured moves coincide with liquidity order books on Bookmap. However, they may go down to get 20,005 one more time for the bounce. So you got to expect to pull back after big pumps, you know. Again, when we look at the other chart for Bitcoin, the end of the day, like, right, this is that rising wedge that I'm talking about, okay? The 1 hour shows that, like, it actually may break out of this, though, like, in parabolic, to see how it's trying to pump. But if it, you know, you just want to see what it does, it could be a breakout fake out. And let's look at this pattern again on, like, the 15 for some little more detail. And so you can see kind of what we're looking at here. And so all eyes on this 7 minute is showing that it's holding. See, the 7 minute will be like the first thing that SR flips. Resistance. So, I mean, right now we have to heed the 15, the 7, and the 1 hour. All right? And we can't just deny, you know, but we are at a resistance. And what will happen if this starts to break down, you're going to get kind of like, I believe like this shoulder, this kind of head, and this shoulder pattern here. Let me bring that down. And you get something like this that could break us down. So I'm willing to believe that we're bearish or bullish. I'm always open-minded, and the flags are going to tell us, right? Aggressive entry would be to buy right now for even more of a push to the upside. The measured move is 21,500, really, if you can break out of this flag to the upside. See that? Interesting. So we're watching that flag, watching this flag, either, you know, however way you want to put it. But we're looking at these ideas, right? Remember, Bitcoin is in this rising wedge that could break out parabolically. Rising wedges break out parabolically, and that would take you to 22,300. Are we going there? I'm not guaranteeing it, but be ready for a nasty short squeeze, and we could still, because you have a lot of people that are just in complete denial, and usually when that happens, Bitcoin rips. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you on the next live stream. And remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. Crypto is life. It really is, though. There's nothing else. Don't play yourself. I'll see you on the next live stream. Boom. Wait. Boom. No. That's weird. Boom. And to the outro, baby. To the outro. I'll see you on the flip side. I love you all. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the love. You can, you will, you are the best. You're going to do anything you put your mind to. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Stay away from negative people. Live in love. It's the strongest frequency in the world. And accomplish anything you put your mind to. I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Be safe.